Here comes the bull. 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 Here comes the bull.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
What broke him down? Was it just the body punching? I was hitting him with body punching. I heard him actually, he was crying in there. You were saying that Gibbs was crying when you hit him? Yes. When did that happen? And perhaps the fourth round on.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
So you knew you had him by that time. Absolutely, but I knew he was touching and taking those punches.
Production.
Making women's dresses up.
Let's go, champ. This the champ. Keep saying the champ. With the fake champ. With Sally, might go.
It's the champ. Next GTO standing here with my other partner in crime, Enrique. What's going on, Enrique, man? We here to talk some boxing, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of news to talk about, a lot of things to discuss. Little Canelo Alvarez news. Got a little Daniel Jacobs, Gennady Golovkin ticket sales. You know, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of things to talk about. Little Danny Garcia. We got a venue, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of rumors to touch on, man. If this is something you're interested in, something you want to talk about, remember that number, 1-425-569. 5241. Press 1 just one time, ladies and gentlemen, to voice your opinion here on the Voice of the People hotline. Remember to add Nestor Gibbs on Skype for all our international callers that want to call in from different countries. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Salute. Shout out to the Patreon family. Let's get into this, man. We're going to head on over to New Jersey, the Garden State. It's time.
Yeah, I just want to say I said
That's right. That's right. A lot of fights happening in 2017. Kell Brook is rumored to be fighting Amir Khan, right? As we know it. I don't have the real deal details, but I'm excited about that, and Danny Garcia being in Brooklyn. Nestor, the man behind the steering wheel. Let's take it to where you from?
Back to Jersey, baby. I mean, yeah, man, there's a lot of rumors to talk about, rumors, right? And no better place than to head on over than across the pond where the word, I think, originates from, right? If you spell it with O-U at the end, right? But Kell Brook and Amir Khan, a lot of rumors, man, all over Instagram. I know that's one of your main sources of your boxing news, Enrique. But it's also
alongside the Boxing Voice, of course. But go ahead.
Sky Sports and the Daily Mail. I mean, basically, Khan is going to be fighting in April. It looks like April is his return date, and you know, he's coming off of surgery that he's claiming he had 13 years. With a broken hand, Enrique. Is that believable?
No, I don't believe it, because why would you fight with a broken hand, right? Or a bad hand at that? You see what real champions do, like Deontay Wilder, what Canelo Alvarez is doing. That's what you do. That's a broken hand to me, or a hand getting recovering the hand injury. So
now, I do want to let everyone know that because of this rumor and all these other publications discussing the return of Khan, and Khan himself taking to his verified Twitter and saying that he's going to be announcing his opponent soon, and that the biggest fight for him in 2017 is the Kell Brook fight. We want to discuss that with none other than Team Spence, Earl Spence. What about Earl Spence, Enrique? Where does he fall in all of this? He is the mandatory challenger to the IBF title that Kell Brook still holds.
Well, there he goes. He falls in that part of the equation. which he probably wins over Khan because Kell Brook did excellent against Gennady Golovkin. Amir Khan was not excellent against Canelo. So, yeah, I think that's
Wait a minute. But some would argue that Amir Khan won the whole first half until he got knocked out. What are you talking about? And some would argue to you that all that Kell Brook did was win maybe one round and get his orbital bone broke, and someone threw in the towel. So I don't know, man. Are you sure that you're right?
Queen Kong getting it.
Queen Khan is getting it. You know, this is boxing, man. You can't always be 100% right. What are the stats saying? You know, like you said yesterday, and I don't know if you stole it from me. I use my heart a lot betting. I don't go with my mind sometimes, even though I know that this person has a super advantage over an opponent. But yeah, I actually haven't chosen anyone on that, but I believe that Kell Brook did way better than Amir Khan. I think, you know. Yeah, so.
Well, you know, around here, we don't just like to discuss rumors, even though those are the best topics, right?
Right.
So what we're going to do is we're going to have Team Spence on. We're going to have the trainer of Earl Spence, Derek James, live on the show. Masterpiece will let us know. I believe it'll be a little later. I want to say 8 o'clock. Not 100% sure, but we will have him on. That being said, you need to stick around if you want to find out just how they feel about all this Kell Brook talk and the fact that they're maneuvering their ways around Earl Spence. When you hear Kell Brook in the media, you know, he's talking Manny Pacquiao, Danny Garcia unifications. It's Amir Khan. It isn't really Earl Spence. He always ends it with like, well, and if not, I got to fight Spence because I'm not giving up this belt. So hopefully he's not giving up this belt. Listen, I've already learned that guys are not afraid. You know, so many people thought that Daniel Jacobs, our next topic, was afraid of Gennady Golovkin. That fight's happening March 18th, live on HBO pay-per-view. So, you know, I don't know. Do you feel that Brook is afraid of Earl Spence?
Not at all. You know, he went against Gennady Golovkin, right? You just mentioned Daniel Jacobs. People thought he was afraid, but he's not. I think he just dropping names, you know, marquee names at that, where the bigger paydays are. So I look at it that way. Recently, I don't remember who we had, but it might have been Tom Lawfer, and he mentioned Canelo's next opponent being possibly, right, or the rumor. No, maybe it wasn't him. Someone was here and they spoke about Canelo Chavez Jr., which is what another topic is on this show. So that's a big money fight, right? It's not anyone else. Yeah, it's money, man. That's what I think. Definitely
is money. It's always the root of all fighters' decisions. And Kell Brook would be within his rights. I mean, when you go up against a guy like Gennady Golovkin, you know, you might as well try and seek another payday. Or am I right about that? I mean, he just got a payday in the Gennady Golovkin fight. Maybe it's time to come back down to reality and fight your mandatory challenger. I don't understand why we have to wait so long. When is this fight going to be announced? You know, we got so many beautiful fights lined up for the first quarter of 2017. It would be good to at least have a date for this one and know what's going to happen. I'm going to ask Derek James, are they in training? Are they just maintaining weight? I mean, what exactly is going on? How does one stay focused at a time like this? But speaking of focus, I wish that MD was on, because tickets are moving very fast for the Saturday, March 18, 2017 clash at Madison Square Garden between Gennady Triple G Golovkin and Daniel the Miracle Man Jacobs, who will be going up for all the marbles. And remember, there is no rematch clause in this one. But, and I quote, "We are very happy with the results from a very strong pre-sale and the first day of sales, particularly given that it was over the Christmas holiday weekend." Managing director of K2 Promotions, Tom Lawfer, said, "We are ahead of our pace from the last time Gennady sold out Madison Square Garden in October 2015, especially with the strong added interest we've seen in Daniel Jacobs being from Brooklyn. So we're looking forward for another memorable evening inside the Mecca of boxing, where the two best middleweights fight each other in front of a capacity crowd. So Steven and Enrique, they're on target to sell this one out again. I'm a bit surprised since the last one sold out in like 20 minutes, but I guess, you know, you have to just say that is the UK. You know, now these ticket prices are priced double the amount of last time. The highest price now is $1,000 for the front row. $600 is your next ticket price. $400, $300, $200, $100 is your lowest ticket price for the Gennady Golovkin, Daniel Jacobs tickets in Madison Square Garden. Remember, this fight is going to be on pay-per-view, and that'll be beginning at 9 p.m. Eastern. So, are you guys feeling like Tom Loeffler and are happy with the results based on his almost now 2 years ago? Well, no, I guess a year ago when he was in the Madison Square Garden back in October 2015. Or are you surprised that it's not sold out?
I'm not surprised, but I think it will sell out as we approach the date. You know, it's still 2 months away. Well, 2.5.
Well, last time when he fought David Lemieux, I'm looking it up. It says that more than 6,000 tickets were sold during the pre-sale, which is shattering the previous record. I didn't notice any mention of that inside that email. There was no specific numbers. And
that's exactly why I made this a topic, because as you can see from the quote that I read, it's more of a generalization. It's more of like a fluff, but
that's weird, right? Because
maybe it's like, let's get the media to talk about the tickets so that people know the tickets are still available. I don't know. Technically speaking, from what the email coming directly from K2, Tom Loeffler, is saying, they are doing better than 2015. But I just felt like this is his second U.S. pay-per-view. I'm just shocked that it's not sold out, especially Daniel. Daniel really shocks me because Lemieux was from Canada. Daniel's from Brooklyn. I expected the pace to be a little faster.
Well, Daniel was, not Daniel, but Lemieux was a golden boy, and he fought on HBO back to back, and he had 2 big wins.
Yeah, but Daniel Jacobs not only fights on Showtime, is a commentator on Showtime.
No, he fought on free TV.
Oh, he fights on free. That's even better. And he's commentating. So I don't really think there's a good excuse for this fight not to be doing better than David Lemieux. Maybe because people perceived Lemieux as a bigger threat at the time than they see Danny Jacobs is now, and maybe that's resulting in the lower. I mean, it's not that the ticket sales are bad, right? He was saying that to say that they're still good. We're speculating that it's not as good as it was last year.
Well, one thing you got to remember.
No. They were clear. They were clear that the numbers are doing better than what they did in 2015. They were very clear with that, and that they're happy with the pace because they're ahead of pace compared to 2015. I'm saying I'm just shocked that it wasn't a one-day sellout the way that the Kell Brook one was. I know that is the UK, and those guys, you know, they're out there. They're selling out arenas. But still, you know, Golovkin has that. He sells tickets. So I'm, you know, this is his second pay-per-view. But staying on, Enrique, did you have something? Because I was going to elaborate.
Yeah, I was going to say it was announced this in December. So, you know, a lot of people didn't give that away for Christmas gifts. They gave other things. So it'll catch momentum.
And you're exactly right, because that's what Loeffler said. He said, you know, being as though it was a Christmas weekend, they're still excited about the pre-sale response. So, they don't mind the pre-sale. They got some good numbers at the end of the day, in their opinion.
I believe him. You don't?
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. You know, we will.
There's still no word on the undercard, right? We don't know anything.
No word on the undercard. What we do
last time they were billing Chocolatito up on that undercard. That was again like a big selling point.
What we do have word on is Daniel Jacobs has already officially begun training camp. I've spoken to Andre Rozier. They're in camp. We posted some footage on the Instagram. He's already doing strength and conditioning. So, Enrique, Steven, is this a good thing to start camp so early, or is it a good thing because, you know, it's like, hey, he's keeping the holiday weight off. Maybe the workouts are to maintain the weight.
Possibly.
I definitely think it's that. Daniel Jacobs is really big middleweight. Whenever I see him in the ring, I really can't believe the size difference between him and Sergio Mora was drastic. You know, it's like, wow, he looks twice as thick as Mora in the arms and through the chest and everything. So I am thinking that starting the early training camp is definitely going to help to melt off some of the holiday weight, and it could also be to help. I mean, his last fight was against Mora. I'm trying to relook up when that was, but it's not good to be coming off of any kind of layoff going in a fight with Gennady, right?
You had one fight last year, man.
There you go. See, you're gonna want to have a lot of ring time, maybe a lot of sparring. I'm really curious who they're bringing in for sparring. But it was at the end of the
year. At the very least, it was in September. So you know.
Yeah, but is Sergio Mora really good? You know, fight that you had before, good preparation for Gennady Golovkin.
It's more about the training camp. It's more about the training camp, going through the motions of the training camp and actually having a fight. And you got to remember, he scored a knockout. But some more news, and this one was interesting because Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and from his verified Twitter, posted a poster of he and Canelo, and it wasn't a Hector Designs poster. Shout out to Hector, who normally does all the big ones, right? It was pretty authentic, to say the least. But obviously, someone with the capabilities of Hector, who works for both Top Rank and WBC, is capable of doing something like that. So it could be much more of nothing, or a lot more than we're leading to believe, right? Or being led to believe. The point is, it says HBO pay-per-view. It's got the sponsors that got there. It looks pretty official. And again, it's coming from the office, aka the verified Instagram of Julio Cesar Chavez. This fight continues to be rumbling. Not only that, but Steven, check the pronunciation or the first name and pronunciation of the mandatory who is now second in line for the WBO title of Billy Joe Saunders, now that they made Canelo Alvarez the number one, because he is even waiting to see what happens with the Canelo Chavez. So in Mexico, the mandatories, the forums, social media, ESPN, especially ESPN Deportes, everyone's all over this Canelo Chavez topic. It's looking like this might be it. And Canelo was back in training, throwing thunderous left hooks. I don't know if you guys seen it or not. Yeah. Definitely follow him on his Instagram. He put it out. I mean, he was just unloading. Enrique, I know you love IG. Did you catch at least the footage of Canelo showing that he's definitely back?
I caught both pieces, the poster and the punching with one hand not wrapped. So again, taking care of that hand while it's recovering, that right hand, that is. But yeah, it was Mikey Garcia who name dropped when he was on our show last week. He named big name fighters that he wanted to face. That's why Kell Brook will face Amir Khan. That's why Canelo Alvarez is fighting Chavez Jr. Mikey Garcia said it. It'll be a big fight in Jalisco. He named all these places. And yeah, it's an attractive fight. Oh, wow. That's a big guy to be fighting, right? Julio Cesar Chavez in size, that is.
I reposted the picture that Chavez posted on our own Instagram, and we got a ton of comments, dozens of people commenting on there, picking. It's a fight that fight fans want to see. You know what I want to see? I want to see the days when our episodes, we don't have to consistently say, hey, hit the thumbs up, ladies and gentlemen, because the thumbs up help with the visibility of the freaking show. Hit the thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? You will be the same person in line waiting to get on the phone. Listen, and for everyone tuned in right now, in the future, present, and past, stick around. Don't dip off, because we're going to have Derek James, the trainer of Earl Spence, because we want to ask him just how they feel about this Amir Khan, Kell Brook situation and that being close. And I'm using air quotes here. But Khan's going to need a tune-up anyway, because like Deontay Wilder, he hurt his hand, and he's going to be making an announcement on who he's fighting, and it ain't going to be Brook. But I don't hear no one giving him shit about it.
Right.
So, Brooklyn, you said it, right? Where's Brooklyn at?
Where's Brooklyn at?
Looking like we are about to get an announcement after the new year, hopefully right after the new year, like technically January 2nd would be nice, with the Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman card. They are finally going to announce the venue. Mitch Abramson, who I know personally, and we've had here on this show, very good writer for Ring TV, and he's worked for New York Daily News, put out a very good column. Basically, he's saying that it's the Barclays boxing scene. They're saying it's the Barclays. I spoke to Erickson Lubin today. He's on the undercard versus Jorge Cota, and he's saying Barclays. So New York, where my dog's at, right? What I need you to do is for everybody that continues to hit me up on DM and even here on the YouTube comments. Listen, the RSVP is at ThaBoxingVoice.com. Go there and you will see the page. It will prompt you to PayPal. You need to drop a $50 deposit to RSVP your spot. We need 25 slots, okay? And I think now we have 4 is what I believe since the last episode. Shout out to Christian. He just paid for 2. So we'll be seeing him again. But these are refundable deposits. These are just to make sure that we have the amount of people that we need. Now, speaking of Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman, there's a lot of good interviews out from the WBC convention. Obviously, these guys are, well, not these guys. It's more Danny Garcia that is kind of taking a lot of shots at Keith Thurman, guys. And I'm wondering to myself, is he maybe now being overly confident? Could it be coming off as fear, where he needs to consistently put down Keith Thurman? In this interview that I watched on Ellie Setback's interview, he was saying how Amir Khan is a silver medalist, how Amir Khan is a declarated amateur, and how Keith Thurman was just a brawler in the amateurs and everyone used to beat him, and he's nowhere near as good as Amir Khan. Now, hey, you're building up a fight. So I guess you want to get under your guy's skin. My thing is, do you really want to put your opponent that far down, Enrique, when you need him to be propped up? So when you beat him, you look even better.
True indeed. Yeah. Keith Thurman is a dangerous opponent for Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia looks vulnerable. That's why there's all this hate against him. And he can get knocked out by Keith Thurman. So he got to be prepared as much as possible to fight Keith Thurman. So I don't know why he's saying all that stuff. Maybe it is good confidence and that works for him. But I'm Team Garcia at the end. And I hope that it's not overconfidence. I hope that is not fair. And I want him to win. So, yeah, Keith Thurman is great. But against this opponent, I got to put my heart, as I said, against Danny Garcia. And yes, please, DSG, if you're listening, or Matt 215, any of you guys, man, let's train and be hard as possible to beat and look really good at it.
I don't know, man. I think that this could totally be him letting out nervous energy before a really big fight against an opponent that I don't know why he's downplaying him. He really should be trying to big him up because he's going to be probably the best win on his resume. Like, definitely at welterweight, maybe ever. It was Lucas Matisse really that much better of an opponent? He's saying that he was, and that Matisse had the aura of fear. Matisse had already lost twice. Certainly wasn't undefeated. Certainly didn't have a big win like a Sean Porter win on his record. Keith Thurman really would be the best. So I think it is Danny. I think Danny's a little bit worried. Ness, when you interviewed him before, he would say like, yeah, of course I'm going to say I'm going to win. What do you think I'm going to say? I'm going to lose? And I believe that calm and cool, but the fact that he's kind of going out of his way to say a bit more, kind of uncharacteristically, yeah, I think that's totally a tell of some nervous energy. Maybe Keith Thurman's able to exploit it.
Yeah, I watched some content that Showtime put out. Did you guys check it out?
I haven't. Was it
when did they put it out? On their Instagram, or did they put it out online?
Well, that's what TBV is for. We like to bring it all together in one source for you, so you don't have to subscribe to everyone. But Showtime put out some content on their YouTube channel where Mauro, help me out, producer. What's his name? Mauro Monaro. What is his name?
Mauro Morello.
There you go. So he was there. Al Bernstein, who because of that, I guess segment that they did, I'm gonna have our producer and Monster. That's not gonna work for me, Monster Piece. We're gonna have to handle that one day. But I'm gonna have our producer, Monster Piece, get Al Bernstein back on the show because it was pretty good when we had him here, and it would be good to discuss this Thurman Garcia topic with him, especially after the segment that they did. It was very good. Malignaggi was there. They even went thoroughly over the Keith Thurman Sean Porter fight, which was, man, I can't wait for us to do our fight of the year show because I think that's pretty much my fight of the year. Hate to let the spoilers out, but
Ness, why are you lying, man? Why can't you just admit why you want Al Bernstein back? You want to give him another shellacking because you know that everyone was giving you all kinds of credit for beating him in the argument. You just want
no. Honestly, I don't even want it to go that way because I wouldn't be as confident as before. See, he was confident in Brook, and the obvious choice for us was Triple G,
This is big, the best present for everybody, for TV,
Bernstein,
for my
for
friends,
whatever
for
reason,
everybody, for boxing.
He was high on Brook. Now, in this fight,
he was putting up a good fight, though. I don't know, man. I think the only reason why you won is because we all knew the outcome, what was going to happen. But I think he was putting up a really good argument.
Well,
whatever. That's not. Yeah. Okay.
All I'm saying is that I wouldn't want to battle with him again because this fight is a lot tighter. This fight is just a lot tighter. It comes down to what you believe in, right? And I'm one of those guys that's going to suffer when it comes to picking in this fight because, most Danny fans are going to pick on resume. They're going to pick on what he's already done. And the detractors are going to say, well, what has he done for me lately? He hasn't done shit. He looked bad versus Herrera. Some of these guys think Peterson beat him, Then he's fighting Vargas, so it's like, hell no. Look at what Keith did. That was fight of the year with Porter. Porter's way better than Samuel Vargas. Porter's way stronger than Paulie Malignaggi. Porter got way more in the tank than Guerrero. Danny hasn't really been tested at 147. This is what the detractors are saying. And when you're looking at Keith, he's looking solid. But Danny took shots in that interview again. Fucking Ellie Setback is everywhere. Hard worker. He was right there when Danny said this. He said, shit, it slipped my mind. That is horrible. It will come back, though. Fuck! That's horrible, man.
He said
it's a good interview, but go check it out. It just dropped today, like literally before the show. When I watched it, it only had like 400 hits.
Was it the brawler part? He's a brawler. He used to
No, that was the amateur part. No. Oh, it was so good. Oh, man, you got to watch it. Anyway, look, now we send him some traffic that way. What are we going to do? But since we're on Garcia Thurman, right, there's more interesting news. A little rumor that I actually wanted to individualize and do as its own episode, but it is what it is. Now that they're saying the next year Barclays is going to be announced for the venue finally, there's still some speculation as to the network. you know, like I said, Mitch Abraham did a great column, and it's between Showtime and CBS. They really want to try and put it on CBS, but it's looking like all the fights are landing on Showtime anyway. I mean, Granados Broner's on Showtime, so is Badu Jack, so is Carl Frampton. All those fights are on Showtime, so it looks like maybe Danny Thurman will land on Showtime. But keep in mind, you know, because I know right away the little PBC haters are going to say, oh, they're losing money. Keep in mind that Garcia and Thurman have always predominantly, for the PBC, you know, lifespan, have predominantly fought on the free television. Like Danny's been on Fox and, you know, NBC, and Thurman, you know, he was inaugural ESPN and like another one. So if anybody's going to do free TV, it would be to put these two guys who have already both been, one was at like 4 point something and the other like 3 point something, or both at high 4 millions when they fought. So it would be smart to put them on CBS if they could do it. But if not, sister network Showtime it is. I know I got a fucking hell of a bill I got to pay every month, so I'm going to watch it regardless. That being said, rumor on the undercard, Berto Algieri. Enrique, what do you think about this, man? Berto Algieri, what do you, for immediate reaction?
Immediate
First
reaction.
in your mind.
Immediate reaction. Oh shit, great fight. I like this fight for both. We don't know much about Algieri, but that, you know, he took a punch. We know that Berto, I called him slick yesterday, and somebody in the chat room was like, Berto's not slick. I thought he was a slick fighter because he's fast and he moves a lot, but and agile. Yeah, I would like to see this matchup. I'm not going to say he's 50-50, but I still think Algieri has a boxer's chance. So, yeah, I like this fight, especially on the undercard.
Hit that thumbs up button if you like this fight. I like this fight. Listen.
I love this fight. I think that this is a really good fight because it's two more names that are being put together as an undercard for what's already, or possibly for an undercard. Still rumors, but for what's already a really big fight. I like that they're going to give us another, you know, good value named fight. And it also is, I think Chris Algieri is a live dog in the fight. Let's not forget, Victor Ortiz was outboxing Berto for I don't know how many rounds in a row before he finally got hit. Chris Algieri will take that hit, get up, and keep boxing. So I think Chris Algieri definitely has a good shot in this fight. Although he probably doesn't have the power.
Fighter to you?
I think he does slick things. I wouldn't call him a slick fighter.
Was slick. I mean, when he fought a guy like Freddie Hernandez, who took, I don't know, producer, check it out. Maybe he took fucking Islandri Lara 10 rounds. Berto blew him out in 1. You know? But then he didn't look too slick in the Collazo fight. You know, he was supposed to blow through Collazo, and he got hit a lot in that Collazo fight. But it was a war. You know, it was a war.
He was supposed to blow through.
Man, I hope they don't give him that fucking rematch, right? Imagine they try to, because he's like he's like getting a bunch of rematches. He might fucking get that rematch. I hope not.
Wait, but Luis Collazo was fighting someone.
Yeah, he fought Berto a long time ago.
No, somebody else's name came up recently.
Oh yeah, he's fighting Sammy Vasquez.
Sammy Vasquez.
Let me get our good friend Jeffrey here to pronounce the name of the WBO. What would we call him now? The one behind Canelo now.
The runner-up.
The runner-up.
Courtesy.
Courtesy.
Nah, that didn't sound right.
Courtesy.
Sound like he slowed down on that first name. Let's start that over. Let's see, Jeffrey.
Courtesy.
Oh, Apatondale Courtesy, whatever the hell. There you go. So he's waiting patiently too. You know, he put out an interview and he's like, look, I gotta wait now to see if freaking Canelo's gonna fight Chavez, because then that would bump him back up to mandatory against Billy Joe. Geez, I don't understand. We were trying to keep the number of views matching the number of thumbs up. So hit that thumbs up button. Listen, we got the Berto Algieri. You guys like it. I like it. I guess my question to you and the world is, does Al Heyman not like Algieri, or is this the way things should be, right? Because, you know, we complain about Wilder getting a soft touch. Doesn't Algieri maybe deserve one? He's been in pretty tough since Ruslan Pavatnikov. Like every fight after that, I mean, it was like Ruslan, then Pacquiao, then like, I think maybe Khan. And
would you say that Chris Algieri by himself is a name?
I would say that.
Yeah, he's a fucking name, dude.
I was thinking.
Do you think he'd be able to put on? You think he'd be able to headline his own show? I'm gonna look up his numbers when he fought Eric Bonet, because wasn't his Eric Bonet fight just him by himself? Wasn't he the main event?
Well, he also main event in the Ruslan fight in the Barclays, but that was an
but Ruslan was the name though. Ruslan was the up and comer. Ruslan had just won. Ruslan had just beat the shit out of Mike Alvarado for the WBO junior welterweight title. So there was a reason. There was a lot of rhythm behind or momentum behind Ruslan.
Okay, so what's the point?
I think the point is that Chris Algieri doesn't get a small.
Oh, you're saying he's not sexy enough?
I'm saying he's not sexy enough for his own show with a tune-up fight. I think to them, he's the opponent guy. I think he's the opponent guy. And if you think about it, getting all of these big names,
you got to throw him a bone, or
there are other fighters that would kill to get the opportunity to fight the name opponents that he's fought.
Listen, in that segment that Al Bernstein did with Malignaggi and your guy from the MMA, Malignaggi specifically said that because they were discussing the criticism that Garcia has gotten for his recent resume. And he's saying that, like, you can't fight the world's best every day out, or your career is going to be, short-lived. And Algieri's on that track if he doesn't start to bob and weave some of these dangerous opponents, because at the very least, maybe Berto's there for the taking at this point. Maybe. But does Algieri have the power? Because Berto, last thing to go is power, and Berto has it.
Okay, but think about it this way. Okay, so Chris Algieri, he fights Ruslan and Manny Pacquiao. At that time, was he under Heyman management? As far as I know, no. That was when he was kind of...
No. When he fought Ruslan?
No, neither against Pacquiao. No. But when he fought Amir Khan, he was. That was his first fight. And that was a good first fight to have under Heyman, because as good as Khan was, I mean, there was a chance that Algieri would be able to keep up with him. Algieri was off a lot of momentum himself. And I'm sure it was a good payday for him. After that, it was Bonet, which you could argue was supposed to be like his soft touch fight. Then he fought Spence. So he's only had 3 fights with Heyman. So we can't really say that Heyman's been feeding him up, because I wouldn't say a fight with Khan was being fed up, and I definitely don't think he was being fed to Bonet. Maybe to Spence, Berto. I think Berto is, again, another fair fight. So I wouldn't say that there's any animosity.
I think Berto has some serious power. I mean, maybe Berto. Remember the way that Berto fought Robert Guerrero?
Remember how that was years ago and he lost?
No, I know. Just wait, walk with me. The way that he fought Robert Guerrero obviously didn't work for Guerrero, because Guerrero is Mexican and he pushes back. Algieri's not a guy that pushes back. If Berto walks him, he can walk him down. I don't know if he'll be successful, but he can walk Algieri down because he has no fear of anything coming back. And at this point, Algieri was just stopped. Berto needs to, I watched an interview with Berto today as well. And he's saying it, that how he got the call from Al Heyman, and this year it's everybody got to fight everybody. It's no ducking, no diving. And, he basically was taking shots. I want to say at Errol Spence, to keep it real. He was basically saying, like, these young guys, they got to just get us out of here then. Like basically the same thing that we say here on the show, like, get these fucking old guys out of here, right? So that's what he's saying. Like, if he's done, get him out. So I don't think Algieri get him. I think maybe Algieri got to outbox him if he stays away. He's still training with Jonathan David Jackson. I did interviews with Jonathan David Jackson and with his promoter, Joe DeGuardi. If you want to check those out on YouTube, they are there. Listen, I don't know.
Hold on, Ness. Let's put it this way. How many rounds did you give Andre Berto versus Victor Ortiz before the knockout in the 4th round? Did you give Andre Berto any of the rounds? Do you remember?
Man, I can't even think back that
I remember thinking no, because it was ridiculous how I hadn't given him a round yet. When he was fighting Josito Lopez, I remember thinking he was losing that fight too. But that's
the thing. He's got the power. That's what I'm trying to say. He got the power.
He also loses rounds, and I think if he could withstand that, but Algieri has proven that he could withstand. I don't know. Coming off that bad knockout. Yeah, you're right.
If he wins, it's going to be outboxing him, but can he do that? You know what I mean? Because I think Berto isn't afraid of what's coming back. He could just walk him down if he wanted to, And Algieri, I don't know if it's the Italian in him or what, because he likes to get into a fight. Knowing he can't punch, he stands there and tries to punch. I mean, the kid's sporting a 33% knockout ratio. You tell me why he wants to stand there and punch. Don't get me wrong. Hey, he did hurt Amir Khan. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. We also have an interview scheduled. Monster Peas, get at us. We're going to have the trainer of Earl Spence Jr. on the line with us today. We want to discuss this Amir Khan, Kell Brook situation, these rumors, what's going on. But we're about to open up those phone lines. Remember that number, 1-425-569-5241.
These calls are brought to you by our sponsor, El Camino Electrical Services, who have over 15 years of commercial electrical experience, servicing the whole Silicon Valley and the entire San Francisco Peninsula. Visit us at our website, elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Alden, Phoenix, talk to me. It's been a minute, brother. What's going on? Talk to me. How was your holidays?
Very good, Ness. How about you?
I can't complain, brother. Can't complain. I got the best listeners on the planet, so I'm good.
Well, yeah, big time, the best show. Yeah, like we were talking about Amir Khan. I think they're gonna fight each other, Amir Khan, Kell Brook. I think that's Amir Khan's last big payday. It's Kell Brook. So if I was Amir Khan, why would I want to ruin that payday? And Kell Brook wants that fight too, because that's another big payday. I mean, why risk it fighting Earl Spence? It's a high risk, low reward. Earl Spence can wait. So that's how I think that's where they're going at it. Is it fair? No, but that's how it is. Danny Garcia, you guys are talking about, is he scared? I would put it in. I don't think any fighter is scared, but I would put it in what I would do. If I was doing the same thing he was doing, that's me telling myself, a fight's gonna happen. This is gonna be for real. Because if I was fighting someone who had no chance against me, I'd be bigging him up. I'd be bigging him up very big. When we start breaking the guy down like that, it's because you know it's gonna be a fight. That's how I look at it. Danny Jacobs, you said it's not sold out yet. Well, I mean, who? I mean, nobody knows Danny Jacobs, Smash Man. Nobody knows Danny Jacobs. And I think if Canelo fights Chavez, I think that should have been Triple G's fight. I think Triple G's been wasting his time, and Canelo slipped in and took that big money fight that could have been Triple G's. I mean, that's how I see it, and that's in full circle, man.
Triple G could have fought Cesar Chavez, you saying?
Yeah, that was a rumor, and they tried to negotiate that in the past, just at a little bit higher catch weight. At that time, they wanted it at 168. But listen, Alden, what about this Berto Algieri rumor? Forget the fact that it's going to be or should be landing on Thurman Garcia, but do you like the matchup?
I think it's okay for both guys where they're at, because if you look at Algieri, you guys just said it. He lost to Khan, but was a good step. But the Khan is a good caliber. Then he fought Bonet, that was a tune-up. And then he fought Earl Spence, but Earl Spence is a big up-and-comer. So I think Berto, they're in that line. I think Algieri has to beat Berto to go somewhere. And Berto, I think, he's got to beat Algieri. It's kind of a break-em fight. You know, they both got to do something. Both of them need this fight to get a step higher. Because I think if they lose, I think both of their careers are kind of done. Because it's basically going to mean Algieri can't beat anybody that's good. And Berto, I mean, if he can't beat Algieri, who can he beat? Victor Ortiz? You know, so that's how I see it.
Alden, well, thank you for calling in. Way to hit every topic on the head. We're going to go down the line. Let's go out to Skype, get to some of these guys that staying up late with us all the way across the pond. First up, my man, Blackface. What's going on, brother?
Blackface, what's up?
Yeah, respect to everyone listening in the past, present, or future. In regards to Amir Khan and Kell Brook, I'd have preferred those guys to fight each other when they both got titles, but I can't really see that happening anytime soon. I can't see Khan beating anyone really in the welterweight division, or I'd like to see both of them at least come off wins. But both of them coming off devastating losses, I guess it's kind of fair, really. It would be kind of like a make or break for them. I think back-to-back losses against each other would be, you know, pretty awful for their careers, if I'm being completely honest. Jacobs starting training camp. He needs to start training camp. He needs to start practicing early. GGG's no joke. I think GGG is a really good fighter, 1 and 2 in the division. Jacobs needs to be starting, months ago, really, in regards to training camps and stuff. So it's good to see him or hear about that he's possibly training for the fight. Canelo and Chavez Jr. Hopefully, I'm not sure if that will go down in Mexico or not, but I'm kind of interested to see if that will go down in a big stadium, because I know over here in the UK, we do a lot of big stadium fights. So it'll be good to compare the Mexico big stadium vibe to the UK big stadium vibe to see exactly how they compare and stuff. In regards to Algieri, he's really gone through the gauntlet, that guy. I think he's setting a good example of what you should be doing. You shouldn't be taking any type of really easy fights, really. I mean, he could have just disappeared after the Pacquiao loss if he really wanted to, but he's still trying to stay relevant, still taking on top names. So I'm happy in regards to that. So yeah, it's just a quick call, really, in regards to the points that I've made, just to make everyone aware. I'm just going to start negotiating with TBV about flying me out to the fight party for Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman. So hopefully I'll be able to sort that out as well. So that's my call, man. When you pay for rain, you also have to deal with the mud.
That would be nice to see blackface in New York City.
I want to know, where does he find that? I feel like the Joker. I know some of you young bucks ain't gonna remember this line, but remember Jack Nicholson, Enrique, when he was like, "Where does he get those wonderful toys?" That's how I feel every time.
That's right after he hits it right after he swings by with the bat wing, right? Yeah, and downtown. That was good.
I like how Blackface said he wants to compare Canelo Chavez in Mexico versus the United Kingdom fight. I'm interested in that.
Oh yeah, that would be sweet. Yeah, to see what those numbers look like in Mexico. Yeah, because UK comes out, man. They talking
Mexicans come out.
Yo, they talking 90,000 though for Klitschko Joshua. That's a lot of people. But yeah, the way Blackface does is like that Jack Nicholson part right there. He's like, where does he get those wonderful closings? He's like, if you deal with the rain, you get the mud. It's like, that's so right. Let me see who else is staying up late over there. We got, I think, Coach Mitty was up.
Mitty.
Well, what's up, guys? So with regards to the Khan versus Brook fight, I like that fight. I've always liked it, and I've always wanted Khan to put on a show against Brook. But the longer they wait, the harder it's going to become for Khan, right? Because we know he's coming off that loss with Canelo. I still hope that he's going to be able to do the business against Brook and really show that his skills will get him the win. But, we all know about his chin, and, I still think that he'll be able to get away from that big shot with his skills. But let's wait and see. And I'm happy that we're going to get that fight at least. Right? So, and I don't know, I think you guys were talking about the Daniel Jacobs versus Triple G fight. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's a good fight. And
well, hold on, Mitty. We were more talking about the fact that the ticket sales are that Tom Laufer is reporting that the ticket sales are at a better pace than they were back in 2015 in October with Lemieux. And we were just questioning to ourselves, like, wow, after that big fight with Kell Brook, and that fight sold out in a matter of minutes, we're kind of shocked that this one hasn't sold out yet. But it is Christmas over here in America.
I mean, it's Christmas everywhere, brother. But the thing is, like, I don't think the tickets sell that quickly, in America, and I'll put it down somehow to bad promotion. Like the way fighters get promoted in the UK, and especially with the Matchroom promotion, they do a good job, and you can have like a half decent fight, get it promoted well, and that translates into ticket sale going very quickly. They could do better with fighters like Jacobs and making sure that their name is such a big name in New York, especially. He should be able to draw the crowd and have people spending their money for him. But I just feel it's down to bad promotion, because he's a talented fighter. He's got a good record. And he's got a very good story behind him. The guy that beat cancer and now he's taking on like the biggest threat in boxing. How can you not make like big noise around it and make sure that the tickets sell very quickly? You know, they've got to look at their promotion. You know, that's the main reason for tickets not selling out that quickly, really.
All right. Well, Coach Mitty, thanks for calling in, brother. Let's keep it moving. We got Boxing Evolution. Talk to us.
Boxing Voice.
What's up? What's up?
Guys, all right. No, man. Well, I just wanted to see if Steve could back check something for me. Just when Brook fought Hatton, Ricky Hatton's brother, because that's when Amir Khan first said that he would fight Kell Brook, and like it's been so many years since then now, and then he's even got excuses like, "Oh, I don't like the guy now." Like, is there ever been a time in boxing where you heard a fighter say, "I don't like this guy, so I'm not going to fight him"? Like, this guy has been ducking for ages, and it's so annoying. Like, it's just like people kind of like almost giving him a, well, some of these fans that I see over here kind of giving him a pass on that, and it's ridiculous in my opinion. You know.
Well, to give you a quick answer, Kell Brook got a unanimous decision in 12 rounds over Matthew Hatton in March of 2012, and since around that time, that was when Amir Khan was what I'm sure that was during the time when he was at Freddie Roach. Those the Freddie Roach years. So Khan was hitting his peak in 2012. I mean, as from what I've seen, their names have always been tossed around.
Let me just chime in on that a bit, because let's just be honest. I mean, when Brook was fighting Hatton, no one cared. And Khan had already been going through the gauntlet, so he got passes from the U.S. viewing public because he was in there with names that we knew. Brook was the one that needed to be tested. So, you know, Brook was just it felt like Brook was always calling out Khan because he knew it represented a big fight. It wasn't really because they had some sort of rivalry. He just knew he could beat Khan, and I think felt jealous of his stardom, and still is, because Khan, with all the knockout losses, is still a bigger star than Brook at this point. Brook still needs him.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But I'm just saying that Khan said that he would fight him. Even he said he would fight him if he won a world title. He said that on TV. You can go on YouTube and check that if you want. He said.
No,
I
remember right? The world title thing. I remember.
All right. And then after that, he still said the next. It was so bad. Like, what's it called? My man won the title. What's it called? Kell Brook won the title, and then a couple days later, you see Khan who shivered up, and he's like, "I'm no longer interested in the Brook fight." Like, shut up, get out of here, man. You said you would fight the guy. Get out of here, man. That's if you got a gunshot soundbite, gunshot for Amir Khan for that one anyway. For like saying he'll fight, thank you. For saying that he will fight and then ducking the fight straight after, and then coming up with shit excuses like, I don't like him, so I'm not gonna fight him. Get out of here with that nonsense, man. That's just my thoughts.
All right, Boxing Evolution. Cool. You got anything else?
Cool. Also, if I could just say, I don't know if you're doing it, but nomination for Overseas Caller of the Year. I'm giving that one to Blackface because I just love his outros and stuff like that. And nomination for Caller of the Year, you know it's got to be the boy NO. So, whoa, there you go. And I'm out, Boxing Voice. Cool.
All right. Those are good nominations. But I will tell you, unfortunately, only people that actually come to the party can get their trophies.
So I guess Muhammad is definitely in consideration because he's been talking nonstop when he calls in about going to that TV and appreciation.
And listen, Muhammad he's definitely a candidate, right? I mean, he's been calling in internationally forever. He is a Patreon subscriber. He's a loyal listener, faithful supporter. And if he's gonna make the trip, isn't he from fucking Africa? He said. That's what he said yesterday. He corrected me yesterday. So, yeah, man, if he's going to make
because we always thought he was from the UK.
He's going to make that trip from Africa. We don't know. We would have to see what's available, right? We can't just make categories up. I mean, the Gypsy Kings exist for people that multiply traveled. We got Callers of the Year. We got, obviously, rookies. We got Rookie Callers of the Year. But Blackface does deserve something. I can't even deny that. Like, you know, he's definitely a memorable caller, and those are definitely major reasons for receiving trophies or awards on TBV appreciation nights. Bruce has gotten one. JP, man, where's JP? I got his award. Don't even call him. I think, where my guns at? My guns at? Steven, I think we all ready, brother. Let me see. We got, let me get out the Dre, man, my mastermind. Dre, man, I hit you up yesterday. I seen you was getting on the flight. I didn't want to bother you. But I wanted to bounce some Berto Algieri ideas off your mind. But it ended up on today's cutting room floor. So what do you got for us?
All right, man, I got a beef, man. I went to the Knicks game on the 22nd, and I'm wondering, there's no promotion for this Triple G fight. I go buy my ticket. I bought a $200 ticket. You know what the processing fees the Ticketmaster charging? $44. That's more money than a Knicks ticket. They have no promotions in that building. That's wonder why they probably not selling no damn tickets like the last fight, because there's no promotions in Madison Square Garden. None.
I wonder if it's a licensing issue. Let's be realistic. Daniel Jacobs has some sort of branding deal with Barclays Center. That's why he always wears Brooklyn boxing clothing in and out of the ring. Who knows if it's a conflict of interest? Barclays Center, Madison Square Garden. I don't know. I could just be a fucking conspiracy theorist, though.
You're in a building with millionaires with their kids from the Upper West Side of Manhattan with money, paying $2,000, $4,000 for courtside tickets. That'd be the perfect place to promote that fight.
Dre, let me ask you a question. What was on the promotion on in the Garden then? What were they promoting?
Giants, Knicks, Rangers. I don't know if people that rent that place out. Hello?
Yeah.
All garbage shit they promoting. Giants.
Exactly.
Maybe it's about to happen. Maybe once the year kicks in, that next Garden event, it's gonna be Golovkin, Daniel Jacob posters all over.
I'll tell you who would have been promoting the shit out of it. I'll tell you who had their faces draped all across the fucking arena right now.
Who's that?
Barclays Center.
Yep.
Yeah, they would have been on the LED.
Yeah, man. And
they did a photo op in front of the building ASAP. Everybody that's fought at the Barclays, look at DeGale and Jack. They already got their photo. Thurman Porter, they already got their photo. Everybody does that photo, that infamous photo in front of the Barclays, man. Pretty soon it's going to take over, man.
Okay. One more question. Does Algieri have who controls Algieri? Is it DeGuardia or Al Heyman? Because this boy's been put to the wolves every time.
Okay, you got to explain that, because I tried to go with that theory and Steven shot me down. Good job, Steven. So you're going to have to, I don't know, this round 2 for you, Steven. How is Algieri being fed to the wolves? How is Al Heyman treating him bad?
Yeah, because while he's been under Al Heyman, he's only
whoa, Steven. Put the guns back in the holster, buddy. Let's let the man take his gun out and try and shoot you before you kill him dead.
No, I'm not complaining about the fights that Algieri get. I'm just wondering, is he making the decisions for these type of fights? Is it Joe? Is it Star Boxing, or is it Heyman? Who has his deal? Because I remember.
Listen, I remember, and I'm gonna. This is not a cheap plug, even though it is. Head on over to the Boxing Voice YouTube channel. Check out my interview with John David Jackson, speaking right after the Earl Spence loss, and he told me that's all they offered him. So he had no options, right? So maybe right now Berto's on the table and that's it. Maybe there is no options. Once you get that win, that's where those options come in at, Dre, though. You got to get back in that win column, and then you can start dictating shit. But till then,
you have the option to decline, though.
Oh, fuck yeah, you could say
so. Then there you go. Like other fighters say, yo, we offered him, but he declined.
Yeah, Algieri don't decline. He want that money.
That's what it is then.
Money. Plus, yo, like Steven said, he made me see the light. Like the Khan fight wasn't a tough fight. Like that was a 50-50 in my opinion, because I don't believe in Khan. You know what I'm saying? And Khan proved me wrong, but Algieri still proved me right, because he almost dropped Khan. He buckled him. Steve, talk to me.
Hello, Nes. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, my friend.
Hello, fella. I was only listening over here, but I thought, because it's quite a British show, I'd get that crow for the Derek Chisora fight if possible.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. We love giving people crow around here, man.
Damn, that Chisora crow's from a while back.
Wow,
it's old Crow first of many, probably, I'd imagine, Ness, to be honest with you. Who do you think won that fight, by the way, Ness? I thought Chisora won the fight, to be honest.
No, man, I think that Dylan won the fight. You know, I won't lie, though. Like, I wish there was a bit more controversy, then we could go back and watch it, because I know on the video that we watched, people were definitely, you know, kind of torn between the two. But at this point, I mean, I hope Dylan White moves on. Now, I'm really interested in Dylan White, Bermain Stavern. There's been some rumors of that. I seen a few interviews with Stavern, and you know, I immediately text him, and you know, he hasn't gotten anything official, but it's definitely a fight that he's interested in. But he just doesn't like Eddie Hearn. I don't know. I wonder what Eddie Hearn did to him.
I think we're going to get the rematch by the sound of things on the Joshua Klitschko card. That's the talk, that maybe we'll get the rematch there.
Yeah, man. I hope Dylan White does something else. I mean, you know, because if he does the rematch, he stays domestic, man. He's got to broaden his brand.
Yeah. Well, but I suppose if it's personal and it was a rivalry fight, it was a street fight, maybe he wants to take him out good and proper. Possibly.
I'm sure there's some money involved, man. But let me tell you, Chisora took him to the ring, okay? Chisora hit him hard a lot of times. Chisora could possibly knock him out in the rematch, because he was hitting him hard. A lot of times, Dylan White was taking the shots worse than Chisora. It's just that he was more active than Chisora. Chisora always suffers from stamina issues.
Yeah, it was the tank. Exactly, it was the tank. And when he had him against the ropes, because I said my prediction was Chisora in the first 6 rounds, wasn't it? On the immediate reaction show.
Cut it. Damn. Yo, sorry about that, but Monster Piece.
We got our guest, Steve. We'll be back to you.
Brought back the cut it.
Yeah, bring him. You gonna bring him out? Bring him out, or you want me to bring him in?
Do you have that soundbite? Because we need that.
What?
Bring him out, Jay-Z. Come on, man.
Where is
All right, there it is, Monster.
Derek, what's going on, my friend?
Hi, what's up?
What's up, Monster Piece?
How y'all doing? What's going on?
We're good. We're good. Happy to have you, man. Listen, we're gonna jump right into it. I hope you enjoyed your holidays. We want to, wish you Merry Christmas and hope that everything goes good for the New Year's. But there's just too many rumors, too many articles, too many news publications debating and talking about possible fights with Amir Khan and Kell Brook. What is going on over there in Texas right now?
Well, nothing, man. We're just working. Constantly working. We don't really, I don't read the articles. I've learned from a young guy I work for named Harold Smith that you don't read the articles because, most of stuff is not true, And we look to do a purse bid on, like January 25th to January 26th, something like that. So the 90 days will be up that they gave him, or 60 days, whatever it is. And so, yeah, man, that I don't read that stuff, man. So I just stay away from it. I don't read it at all.
Now, purse bid, that sounds a bit tough, man. I mean, isn't it like 25% to the challenger?
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's like this. You take what you get to get what you want. So at this point, that's mandatory all the way around. The champion gets 75. The mandatory challenger gets 25%. So whatever the purse is, it is what it is. There will be no negotiations. It's all about purse bids right now. So I think that whoever bids the most gets to do the fight. So it doesn't matter. I mean, I listen to Errol in his interviews, whatever. He's ready to go wherever and whenever. So we've been just working out. He scored 12 rounds today. We're not even training. We're not even just working, having a ride and get ready for this fight. And yeah, so it's good, man. It's not a bad thing.
Wow, you said two things that I'm interested in. First one was that Earl has already said he's willing to go to the UK. Now, what would you do different from guys like Charles Martin, Dominic Brazil, Eric Molina, guys usually go over there and they complain that they weren't acclimated and that, you know, the time zone, and I mean, it's only 5 or 6 hours. How much of a difference does that make? And how soon would you try and get Earl there? Because I know you already made it clear you work for him, but how soon would you at least recommend, hey, let's get to the UK? How much in advance?
Well, I work for him, but you know, it's like a general works for the United States Army, right? So they don't go to war until they say it, but at the same time, he's directing the strategy and the game plan. So regardless of whatever, you know, so we'll go over there maybe about 2 days, 2 weeks early, man. 2 weeks, get acclimated. 10 days or 2 weeks, get acclimated and be ready to go. I mean, I don't really know what those other guys did. I mean, and when they went over, when they came over, but you talk about different guys. I mean, Charles Martin, I love Dominic Brazil, they're not Errol Spence. So, you know, I don't know when they went over. I don't know what their plans were. I know that we will go over there maybe like about 14 days in advance, at least 10.
Derek James, what's up? It's Enrique Church. I got a question. Let's say it's not Kell Brook. Is it going to be the winner of Thurman Garcia? Is that an option? What's the contingency?
Nah, that's too long, man. No, man, that's too. I mean, that's too long. I would think. I mean, I don't. We're not looking at anything other than Kell Brook. I mean, point blank. I mean, I know there are rumors out there. I mean, I'm not following them. You know, if you look at it like this, there's the WBA champ and the WBC champ, right? So the WBA champ and the WBC champ, which was all three at one time, managed by Al Heyman, because you have Floyd Mayweather, Adrian Broner, Floyd Mayweather, Keith Thurman, and who else is it? Who was the WBA? Well, it was three of the guys that were champions, all with Al Heyman. Sean Porter lost. Which out of those guys, which guy could beat this guy? It's Errol Spence. So remember, Amir Khan is with Al Heyman. So y'all think that he's negotiating with Kell Brook for what? To put Amir Khan, who's not even ranked in IBF, above Errol Spence? That's what they're saying, is that the most important one, the future, the face of the PBC, is Errol Spence. But he's going to put Amir Khan above him to make a fight.
But you're speaking sarcastically. You're speaking sarcastically, but I don't think that it's a sarcastic statement. I think that Khan versus Brook is the bigger money fight, makes more sense. I think that they would try to pay you guys some step aside money. I think that Eddie Hearn would say, hey, take this couple $100,000 and let us do this big major fight in the UK.
But it's not worth $100,000 for us. Remember, now listen to this though. The guy who worked this hard, he fought 2 title eliminators to get to this point. 2 title eliminators, right? So why would he step aside now? The IBF says, listen, this is what it is. If he doesn't fight Errol Spence next, that he would have to vacate the belt. So they don't want to vacate the belt. So what does that mean? Remember, 3 weeks ago, he was talking about how he's going to knock Errol out. Now he's like, he's going to fight fight Amir Khan now? I mean, you know, you can't pay attention to it. But I saw him say, well, I can't wait to knock Errol Spence out, is what he said. So now he's going to fight Amir Khan now. So yeah, I mean, like, so you can't follow the stories, man. I mean, I don't, you know, I can't read it. I can't keep up with it.
I'll tell you something that you ain't gonna like to keep up with, and that's my next statement. I remember another up and coming contender / I ain't gonna call Earl no prospect, so don't. He ain't no prospect. He's not a prospect in my eyes, but you know, up and coming, you know, who wanted his shot, and he waited for his IBF shot too, and he got knocked out by Jamel Charlo when people said he was ready. how could you convince our listeners, those casual fans that seen Errol Spence, those 6 million people that seen Errol Spence right after the Olympics that don't really know his career, but they seen him do what he did? How do you convince him that this young guy, whose resume doesn't really say that he's ready for Kell Brook, but obviously the eye test says that, how do we know that he's not going to suffer the same fate as Julian Williams?
But I think that I love Julian. He's my man too. I like him. But I think that he's just a totally different guy. I mean, look, I never really seen Kell Brook fight other than when he fought Triple G, right? He didn't look that good to me, and neither did Triple G. Both of them didn't look great. Neither one of them looked great. So it wasn't like it's like a he didn't look spectacular. You know, he's supposed to be faster than that guy with Triple G, slow as all get out. He's supposed to be faster than me. I thought he would have did better, but that's not me. I mean, so listen, I think Errol, I know Errol coming in and do his thing, man. We saw bigger guys, we saw good guys. And this guy's not, he's a world champion, he's good. I like that people like to say this, or people say, well, he hadn't fought anybody. I like that. I like that. So, but at the same time, none of those guys have actually given him a shot either. So why is that? Because you can't use the adage that Keith Thurman used. He said he wanted to fight Floyd Mayweather. Now listen to this. I want to fight Floyd Mayweather, right? But Floyd Mayweather had been the champ for 17 years. You're a young guy who's a prospect. Say, I want to fight Floyd, right? So you try to use the same adage, and we said it before. It's like when I came in, Floyd asked me, can I fight Floyd? Well, man, Floyd had been champ for 17 years. He hadn't been anything. He hadn't been champion. So that's the difference. You've been champ for 2 or 3 years. You can't compare yourself. You can't even get the same statement Floyd Mayweather gave. But yet you try to make the comparison that it was like when I challenged Floyd. Floyd is Floyd, man. And L is ready, and as Floyd Mayweather, is he ready? That's the guy who said, listen, this guy is ready. He gave me that word. He never said that about anybody else. You don't even know who he's been sparring with because he never talks about him. But this one particular guy, he talked about him. What's that about?
Well, Mr. James, who was he sparring 12 rounds with, man? Because what we did learn,
he spoke with
3 different guys. Do we know him?
Yeah.
Oh, we do know him.
He spoke with others. He spoke with one young guy. Burley, I don't know his last name. He spoke a guy, Adrian Taylor. He's like a light heavyweight / cruiserweight. And then he spoke Rob Brandt.
Okay, Rob Brandt. I like him.
Who fights January 20th. Yeah.
That's your other guy. We like him over here. Now,
yeah.
The real question is, why is Earl so confident that he would knock Kell Brook out? Kell Brook took some really hellacious shots from Gennady, and he also gave Gennady a nice uppercut that sent them launching to the moon. I mean, why are you guys so confident that you will score the knockout?
Because we throw the right punches, man. Throw the right punches. It's the right rotation on the punches. And, that's just it. I mean, he throws the right punches. He sets it up right. And he shoots the right shots and puts the right rotation on the punches to where most guys punch with their arms. He punches with his whole body. Just like Kovalev, I watched the Kovalev war fight. Kovalev is not this super guy. He just has great mechanics. He's not a big puncher. He's hitting punching with his whole body. So with the right hand, he hit Ward when he dropped him. But it wasn't normally if he had a good rotation on it, Ward wouldn't have got up. He'd still be knocked out. He punches, he puts that body behind those shots. And no different than what we do with Al throwing the punches. He's rotating the body to the whole punch, opposed to using his physical strength. So that's why I would think I haven't heard him say he knocked him out, but I can't see, put like this is true. I cannot see Kell Brook being able to go 12 rounds with L and ever being able to fight again after that. With those 10-ounce gloves, if he goes 12 rounds with L, he may never fight again.
So Errol Spence is stronger than Triple G.
Yo, come on, Derek. He just went. Yo, Derek. He just got out the ring with Gennady Golovkin.
But he's going light with Amir Khan next.
Well, listen to me. Listen. Gennady Golovkin is a one-punch knockout artist. Errol is a guy that breaks you down those body shots to the organ, hitting with those body shots constantly, over and over, hitting with those left hands. I mean, listen, man. Gennady Golovkin, if you go back and watch the fight, I watched a little bit of last night. He was like close enough where his body could touch the guy, and he was still missing him. Listen, his aim was off, his time was off, his distance and range was off. He couldn't just listen. I'm telling you, if the fight goes 12 rounds, I'm serious. Listen, I'm serious as a heart attack. I don't want to say that he may go somewhere. I'm just gonna say he may never fight again. I'm serious. I promise you. Look, listen, I'm telling you, if you get,
I just want you to know.
I
just want you to know, okay? Chris Van Heerden went 8.
Yeah.
Chris Van Heerden went 8 out of 10 rounds with you guys, and he's got 2 wins after that fight.
But listen, he was messed up. Listen, I promise you, he was broken up, man.
Derek, listen, I love it. It's it's music.
That was almost 2 years. That was almost 2 years ago, though. He fought twice in 2 years. Listen, how long? Look at the space between the fight that he fought and then the next fight. From what he fought in I don't know when it was, sometime late September, October. September 11th is what it was. September 11th. Now, when was the next fight? Look that up.
Errol Spence's next fight after the September 11th fight against Chris Van Heerden was November 28th against Alejandro Barrera.
No. When was Chris Van Heerden's next fight? That's what I want to know. When was Chris Van Heerden's next fight?
Oh, his next fight was
after it was Steve Claggett.
April 16th, from Canada. Steve Claggett from Canada, April 16, 2016.
Okay, so look at the distance in between the fight. You cannot come right back just like that. Listen, so he fought in September 11th, then fought in April. That's like 7 months.
Yeah, he took a little layoff. I mean, but that ain't bad when you got fighters fighting twice a year, Oni. I mean, that's the normal. But listen, look, you just gave us a headline. We happy. Kell Brook ain't gonna last 12 because he'll never fight again. I mean, that sounds beautiful to me. Beautiful.
What I said was that if the fight goes 12 rounds, it may be broken up. I'm just being honest. I can't see it any other way.
But James, what is it about Kell Brook that you like? Why do you? I mean, the way that you're talking is if you don't feel any resistance will come from Kell Brook, like it would be.
No. I do feel resistance. I do see how good he is. I see that. I mean, it's not like, listen, man. It's not like he's some horrible guy. I love that he is a guy that everybody wants him to be. What's the point of beating somebody when he's not really somebody? I mean, like, he is a guy that everybody in the world says he is. I love that, man. What are you talking about? He's a good fighter. He's a tough guy. He's all of that, man. So I'm not saying that he's not that guy. I just like the fact that he is that guy, or that he is assumed to be that guy. And hey, man, listen, he did good. He beat knocked out the kid in the first round. He beat not Keith, but he beat Sean Porter. I mean, he's a tough guy. Somebody said he's not a tough guy. That's not what I'm saying. But you can't wrap Errol Spence up like you was holding. I heard he was holding Sean Porter because I didn't watch the fight. He was holding Sean Porter. You can't get close up to Errol like that. So what do you rest at?
James, what you mean you ain't watched the fight?
I didn't watch the fight, man. I don't watch fights where I know it's a definite. If it's a definite, I'm keen on this guy until they say, Derek, this is the date. I'm in it. I'm on it. I'm on it. Like Jamel Charlo fighting Charles Haley. I just watched the fight 3 days ago.
I was just about to go into that, man. I wanted to talk about that because his brother, I know there's got to be some pressure now. His brother looked phenomenal. I mean, you got to have a little bit of pressure on you, right? Because they split trainers, you know. Jamal stood with Shields, and Jamal is like, his star is burning like a phoenix right now. So Jamel split.
For real. It is, yeah.
Jamel split, went with you. So now it's his time, because I'll be honest, his last fight with John Jackson, you know, a lot of people felt he was being outboxed until he scored that come from behind knockout.
Yeah, listen, he was. The guy was moving on him. Now listen, I would go back and watch. He wasn't landing the shots, he was moving. Jamel was blocking a lot of the shots, but he was outboxing. Nobody else has to say that. I'll say that. He was moving. I'll say that. But it's a 12-round fight. If it was an 8-round fight or whatever round fight, he would have lost the fight. But it's a 12-round fight.
Now, James, that was the first.
That's what matters. I mean,
I'm sorry. I thought you were done. Who was the last trainer we had on the other day?
No, that was it.
Okay, so I was just gonna say, that was the first time where the detractors kind of took back their words, right? Because it was like, boom, he knocked this kid out where he was sleeping, standing up. So now we start to question, do the twins share the same power? Because for so long, your Charlo, Jamel, was considered
never got knocked out.
Yeah, he was considered the one who didn't get knockouts and the more of the boxer, even though he did a phenomenal job with Gabriel Rosado. But yeah, so do you think, I mean, you working with him, can they possess the same power?
Well, you know, it's about boxing is about physics. It's about rotation. It's about, people say, you know, this asinine idea, you can't teach a person how to punch. You're born with power. You might be physically strong, but when you rotate and punch with your whole body, so like this, you got a 140-pound boulder, 154-pound boulder, and you drop it on somebody's head, it's going to crush the skull. So if you rotate your body into the punches, which I don't know if you all understand what I'm saying, so you're punching with your whole body, not the physical strength, you'll knock him out regardless of whatever. So he's been able to do that. We work on that and teach him how to punch correctly, and put the power behind the shots, and he's been able to do it. Plus, he was always moving to where he would never try to put the heat on somebody unless he had to, I guess. But now he's kind of like moving. He's doing a mix of the two.
So now, the real story is not Charles Hatley, unfortunately. That's something that, you know, Charlo has to get by, but Boo Boo Andrade, and I know that you're a big amateur guy, you know, your guy being in the circuit, making it all the way to the Olympics. There's no way that you don't know a former Olympian in Boo Boo Andrade, and he's got a thing for your Charlo and the brother. What do you think about that possible matchup, you know, later in the future?
I think that you have to go after the guys who have what you want. I mean, I have no thoughts about it. I mean, I saw him fight Willie Nelson, and I thought it was a good fight. I mean, I think that, you know, he did what he had to do. I think that, but you have to make a lot of noise. So you have to make a lot of noise when you're trying to get to where you want to go. I think that he's constantly keep making that noise and constantly keep doing that. That's him, man. I mean, but if you talk about this, if you think about this, because you got to look at it. He and Jamel was supposed to fight before I started training Jamel Charlo. What happened to that fight? Then he was supposed to fight some guy from Germany, right, recently, like what, 3-4 weeks ago? What happened to that fight? So people can't, it's not like, if you want to fight people like this, Elvis said, listen, we'll go to England to fight Kell Brook. We're going to take 25%, so what? We want the title. After that, we're going to get everything we deserve. So you can't say you want to fight a guy, but the money is what it is, man. You sign a deal with a guy, you taking 50% of your purse, manager taking 33 and 30 of your purse, trainer taking 10%. How much does that add that up? 50? That's 90-something % of your money, man. You signed the deal though. That's how it is. So I mean, I don't know what to say about it. I mean, I would be coming for the guys who have the titles also.
Good point. Fair point. Fair point. Well, listen, Derek, I don't want to keep you any longer, man. We wanted to get your thoughts on the headlines, and you made it clear. No reason, in your opinion, while Al Heyman would be dealing with a fight to make Kell Brook Khan and shafting the young Earl Spence, you think Earl Spence is PBC's future? No way they're shafting him. He's getting his shot. Did we lose him? Oh, shook. Monster Piece, you there? Monster Piece. Steven, check those out for me. Let me get to Stewart. Talk to me.
What are you saying, Les?
I know you got a lot for me, man, because he was talking about your guy and knocking out your guy and how they don't want – they're willing to take their 25%. They're willing to put their backpack and go across the road. They're doing it all, man.
So what are you saying now, Stewie?
Yeah, well, listening to that interview, it reminded me of when I was watching a boxing show on Box Nation, the Steve Bunt show. And he was talking about American trainers. And he was saying about most of them are absolute jokes. They come in with a gold chain around the neck. They claim they're trainers, the world-class trainers, but they know absolute zero about bringing up a world-class fighter. Now, this guy is not prepared to even look down the list and look at these fighters that could get in Spence's way. He's just a young fighter. He's fought nobody with any sort of power. I mean, you put fucking Bundu and Algieri together, mix them together into one man, and you still haven't got a knockout puncher. You know, this is, you know, this guy thinks he's going to come to England like many trainers have. So many times we've seen it. We sit here in the UK, we watch these American trainers come off the plane with their pimp suits on, talking a good game. You know, basically saying that these British fighters ain't got a chance, and then they go home with their tails between their legs because they get a shot. They're not prepared. They come to England, get fucked up, and get sent home. And this is another trainer that's going to get the shock of his life if he decides to get on that plane and come to the UK. Because Errol Spence is probably he's a good fighter. He's a good fighter, but he is one of the biggest hype jobs in boxing. You know, this guy, you know, people are saying, Brook, he fucking ducked Errol Spence to fight GGG. I mean, on any planet, that sounds fucking ridiculous, doesn't it?
Yeah, I wanted to ask about money too. That equates the money.
Errol Spence, that's fought nobody of any sort of fucking caliber.
He fought Algieri.
Hey, Frankie Gavin should have beaten Bundu. So we talk. That's the levels where we're at. Algieri, he couldn't win a fucking fight if he borrowed Mike Tyson's fucking hands for the night. You know, he's absolutely useless. So, you know, let's talk about world-class fighters now. Now, you know them shots Triple G was taking?
Yes.
You see them shots, go back and watch them. Now put Errol Spence's head in that position. Now, do you honestly think he's eating them shots like Triple G? No. He's easy to hit, Errol Spence. Kell Brook is one of the most accurate punchers in boxing. And he carries a lot of weight behind his punches. I'm telling you now, Errol Spence is going to get, and his trainer is going to get the shock of their lives. And it's going to be Errol Spence's fault for hiring people like this who can't even be bothered to research the fighters he's going to fight. He doesn't even know how.
Well, wait a minute, Stu. Wait a minute, Stu. Obviously, your anger got to you and you didn't hear that part. He said he doesn't watch tape until the fight is
signed.
Sure. So the Kell Brook fight isn't for sure. You see, they're already prepared for.
Listen, listen. Vitaly Klitschko was ready for Lennox Lewis years before the fight happened. That's what you got to do. When you want to get to the top, you look at the man who's on top and you prepare yourself to beat that guy for when you get the call.
He's got a point.
Cherry picking these bums and then picking them up. Oh yeah, we'll prepare for this guy.
Keith Thurman said it. Keith Thurman said he trained for Floyd Mayweather every time he goes to the gym.
Well, Stu, thank you for calling in. Thank you for calling in. Hey, Enrique, what did you think of the words of the trainer of Earl Spence? And just the fact that he's like, yo, no way is Al Heyman shafting Earl Spence to do a backdoor deal with Amir Khan, who he represents as well, to get a bigger fight with Kell Brook, even though to you and I, it makes more sense because it's the bigger money fight.
Right.
Is it the way that Derek James believes that Earl Spence is the future and the truth? So Heyman is putting the chips behind him.
He absolutely does believe he's the future and the truth. That's why he was like, so what? We take 25%. So what? You know, he didn't want no renegotiation. He didn't feel there's no risk. So he's overly confident. Another thing, he spoke down of Kell Brook and then picked it back up when you say, yo, why are you discrediting Kell Brook, who took those shots from Triple G? So that's just a thing. I think this machismo that fighters and trainers have in them because, you know, Danny Garcia did it. So what are we saying? But yeah.
I'll say this. If Danny Garcia would have talked shit the way Derek just did, I would be much more confident behind what Garcia said, because he was putting Brook down, but still raising him up as like a quality opposition and good.
When you question them,
what I'm saying is that he was saying that Brook is still a good fighter and a good opponent, obviously, and it would be a good win. But he was also saying, despite all of that, we're still going to walk through.
They want that champion. They want that limelight. They want to take everything that Kell Brook and Amir Khan has earned. They want that position. That's why they're willing to take the percentage to be whatever it is, fly over there and go snap.
Yeah, exactly. That's why. And I think they kind of know, they have to pay their dues again. Earl Spence is as hot of a prospect as he was and as strong of a contender as he is now. He definitely needs to still pay some dues, and he's not going to be able to get more than that, than what's going to be mandated by the sanctioning bodies in terms of purse bids and the way that they're split up. He's not going to be able to pull a Danny Jacobs, is what I'm saying.
So
and
now
ask for more.
What do you think about what Stewie responded about Earl Spence's resume and bringing up Frankie Gavin and Leonard Bandu?
Yeah, I think that's a good thing, but
no. He brought up Frankie Gavin,
saying that he would be.
No, he said he should have, but he didn't. That's the point. He didn't.
But he also said there's no one on Earl Spence's resume.
Well, that's
Greco.
That's if you want to be negative, but the fighters on Earl Spence's resume are just like Keith Thurman's. They're developmental fights that mean something. Phil Greco is a decent fight, but it was coming off of like a week's notice, and it was a catch weight of 152. You know what I mean? Van Heerden, good opponent. Look, you see, he already got 2 wins back in the win column. You know what I mean? So, but still, fights that we knew Spence would win if he is as good as he is, right? Like, we've seen other prospects not get past it. I remember Michael Perez, for instance. Michael Perez at one point was put in undefeated versus Omar Figueroa. It was sink or swim that day, and one of them had to lose. He lost. Daquan Arnett was put in undefeated versus Eddie Gomez. Sink or swim that day. One had to lose. That's the way that it goes. So, Earl has been consistently getting the wins that he needs to get versus the people that he's supposed to in a fashion in which we like. Now, as for Stewart, yes, he hasn't really faced anyone that could add much resistance, right? Because Chris Algieri isn't a knockout puncher, and Van Heerden didn't have the skill. Bundu also wasn't that puncher, but Bundu represented durability. He went rounds with Keith Thurman, who we call one time. So we wanted to see what would Earl do with him. What did Earl do? Stop them in 6. That's why we like Earl. Let's get out to these streets. I mean, talk to us.
I mean, you have that chicken soup in you?
What's up, fellas? Yo.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yo, I think that interview was pretty good though, man. I mean, what's my man name? Derek James or something?
Derek James, trainer of Earl Spence.
Yeah.
He talking that shit. So, you know, I mean, I'm confident in Spencer's ability, but it was definitely a good interview. Algieri made his career on taking chances, fighting bigger names. So him fighting Berto is right in the trajectory of what he's been doing. I don't think it's feeding him to the wolves. I think, you know, that's the way that he does. I mean, that's how he made his name. So let him do that. That's a good fight. Berto needs to make a name by beating somebody who's beat somebody with a big name. So it's a very good fight. Action-wise, it should be pretty good. And I forgot what else we was talking about. That interview just kind of threw me, man, because I think Khan, I'm with you, Ness. I mean, with most of it, Khan and Brook is obviously the bigger fight. I don't see why they wouldn't. I mean, I see your principles. I would take step aside money. I would take 300 grand and step aside, and then let them enforce the purse bid if that was possible. You know, so.
Well, all right. I mean,
else, what else we got?
Well, we got the, you know,
Danny Jacobs.
Chavez tweeted out the fight poster from his Instagram. We got the
tickets sold.
Yeah, we got tickets being ahead of target for Gennady Golovkin Jacobs. Also, we have possible venue
confirmation for Garcia Thurman, right?
Possible confirmation being announced. Everyone's saying it's going to be announced by next
Year's Day.
Right, like this week. So hopefully New Year's Day or the day after. All signs seem to be pointing to Barclays Center. Yeah.
I ain't gonna hold up the line, fellas. I'm gonna just go ahead and book my $50. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm talking about.
Appreciation.
That's right.
That's what I'm talking about. RSVP over at ThaBoxingVoice.com. Remember that $50 is refundable if we do not have it, but all signs are pointing to Barclays, so we're going to be lofting it up somewhere nice, sky rising it up. Maybe hopefully Enrique get us a rooftop this time. We can smoke
which way they supposed to be
on a balcony. I don't know, Steven, you ain't coming out with you get permission yet? Donald Richmond, talk to me. Yo, we got too many people watching, not enough thumbs up. I want those thumbs up to equate the amount of listens. Let's go, Donald.
All right, so look, I think that Berto and Algieri, I don't think that's such a good fight for Berto, but I think it's good for Algieri because if Algieri beats Berto, then he gets kind of ranked up a little bit out there. But if Berto beats Algieri, it'll be kind of like, well, Algieri doesn't have no punching power anyway, right? And I think that what Berto should go for is the Robert Guerrero rematch. I think he should go for that. I think that's a little bit more sexier than Algieri. Also, Khan and Brook, I feel like Brook is really ducking Errol Spence, but at the same token, I feel like it's a duck and he's looking for a bigger payday. So I feel like, you know, Kell Brook, he needs to stop playing. Just come out and say, look, I'm not willing to take the chance with Errol Spence, just like nobody else is willing to take the chance. Danny Garcia doesn't want to take the chance. Everybody looks at Errol Spence like, look, this guy's a prospect and he's a tough fight. Nobody really wants to kind of get that L on their record from Errol Spence. Nobody wants to give him the opportunity. So why doesn't Kell Brook just come out and say, hey, look, just like everybody else who's in the division who's got a good resume, I don't want to give him the opportunity either. I'm going to vacate this belt and go for Khan. It's a bigger fight. It's a bigger money fight. And throw Jeff Horn in there to get his ass steamrolled over by Errol Spence to let Errol Spence get the belt. I see it, you know, that way. You know what I'm saying? Because I just feel like nobody wants to give Errol Spence the opportunity. But yet we got all these critics saying, who is Errol Spence fought? He's fought nobody. Well, guess what? Who wants to give him the opportunity? Nobody wants to give him the opportunity, but yet people keep saying he has no one on his resume. So why don't one of these big dang guys step up and give him the opportunity and put him to the test, like you said, sink or swim? Put him in there, let him sink or swim and see what he does. Nobody wants to do that because nobody wants to get their ass whooped by Errol Spence, right?
Makes
I
sense.
just feel like they're too critical about it. Right, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Somebody give him the chance. It's kind of like you got guys standing in the line, and they walk up and they say, hey, you want to fight Errol Spence? No, I don't want to fight him. You fight him. I don't want to fight him. You fight him. And it's like, well, you ain't fought nobody anyway. It's like, guess what? Don't none of you motherfuckers want to fucking fight him, but you keep talking about you ain't fought nobody. Why don't you one of them fight him and see what happens? You know? So
I think if it make dollars, it makes
I
sense, man. I think if they start talking in dollars, but the problem is that Earl Spence doesn't represent them dollars. Al Heyman can't just go around, you know, paying Danny, let's say, whatever.
Too much of a risk. He's a
Well, no.
no.
It's not risk. It's not risk because in the very beginning of this show, I think we opened up by saying that, you know, I don't think any fighter is afraid. But Donald, we're gonna get to some other calls. That's your 10-second warning, so you might squeeze something in. But I don't think any fighter is afraid at this point of anybody. I think if that money makes sense, they'll make that fight. Steven, do you think that Al Heyman has the power to say, Danny, I'm going to pay you the same thing you're getting for Keith Thurman to fight Earl Spence? I can't see that happening.
I think it'd be, I don't know, if he did, isn't Angel and him, aren't they always saying that, like, you know, if it makes sense, like, you know, financially, that they'll take the fight. He said that he would take the fight with Canelo if he got paid enough money.
Daniel Jacobs is fighting Gennady Golovkin. The world thought that wouldn't happen. It's obviously, if it makes dollars, it makes sense. Donald, thank you for calling in. Marcus, don't get caught up on the ropes this round, baby. Marcus from DC, talk to me.
Hey, yo, man, I hope I get an extra 30 seconds, man. Great interview. Let me just say something real quick. Let me tell you how boxing's set up. Boxing is set up so that promoters and everybody and networks have guys that they really like. They like Errol Spence. Whenever you match somebody with an opponent and the opponent wins, he's always matched hard from there on. It's the same way. Joseph Cito Lopez, Manny Pacquiao, all those dudes were matched hard after they won a fight. Chris Algieri won a fight. He was supposed to be an opponent. He's going to get matched hard. It's better to get matched hard for 4 or 5 fights and make bigger money than get matched semi-hard for 12 fights and get the shit whipped out you all the time. So that's the fact of the matter. Errol Spence, although if on his side I would be pressing the fact that, you know, you're the IBF mandatory, but the fact of the matter is, if you believe that beating Leonard Bundu and Chris Algieri were also possible title contenders in an eliminator, then they fooling themselves. Bundu nor Algieri are any threat to be the IBF champ. So the fact of the matter is, they want to raise Errol Spence's sights among the public. Then instead of Algieri there, Berto should be fighting Spence. Number 2, the Algieri match with Berto shows that it's going to be Barclays because of the crowd he brings from Huntington, Long Island.
I hope that fight happens.
Garcia
I like
what he wants. Huh?
I said I hope that fight happens.
Yeah,
I like it.
Put Spence against Berto, put Spence against Lamar Peterson so that we can see, listen, lower level fighters aren't durable. That's one of the things that we learn. That's why we find elite fighters, when they get higher, they don't get as many knockouts, because we learn that other elite fighters, sometimes they don't bring puncher power, sometimes they bring durability. Put him in against Lamar Peterson, put him in against Berto, both Heyman fighters, and let's see if he's really worth what he's worth. You're supposed to beat a lower level fighter because the durability isn't there. Garcia and Thurman, Garcia can say what he wants about Thurman, even though I think Garcia wins. We all can look at Thurman and say Thurman is not no walk in the park. Although boxers with insight see different things and skills from boxers that let them know, I can get this guy. Chavez and Canelo, hey, listen, whenever you're making a fight against a lower skilled opponent, you will take the fight at a higher weight, i.e., which I don't understand why everybody dog Triple G for offering 164 pounds to Ward. If you're going to jump right in against the best dude, then you need something. If you're not jumping in against the best dude, you can take the weight, which is why, i.e., Triple G was going to accept Frock and Chavez at 168, but if it's going to be the first fight, Ward 164. Same way, if Kovalev had demanded that Ward didn't take the Brand or Barrera fight, Ward would not have been wrong to say 171. Triple G and Jacobs, we now find out the backlash from it's supposed to be on free TV to pay-per-view killed everybody.
Backlash. I wonder what that was headed. Was it because of the
Free
ticket
TV
sales?
versus
but he's saying the backlash.
Yeah, backlash that it should have been on backlash that it is on pay-per-view. But he was on fire. He had some excellent matches.
That's Marcus, man. He stayed dropping some Funk Flex bombs. Who we got? Who's up? Chris from New York. Damn, Chris.
646.
RSVP, Chris. We need to see you, baby. 2016 Call of the Year. What's going on, Chris? 646, Chris. What's up?
Yo, what's good, Ness? What up, Enrique?
What up? What up?
What up, Steven? You know I'm RSVP, man. I missed the last one because of work, but this time I'm taking off, man. I'm gonna make sure I'm in there.
I know, but the thing is, I don't want everybody to forget the deadline is January 8th. If we don't get those 25 by January 8th, that venue is gone. So we need the deadline met.
Definitely, don't worry, I got you. I'll send you a text once I do it too.
Cool.
I like that Derrick James interview was excellent, man. You guys did really well. I hit on everything I really wanted to hear from him, man. And that was a great interview. And I like the fact that I like the fact that Amir Khan and Kell Brook are gonna fight. I think it's a great fight, but Spence, he's been waiting for a long time. He's been a mandatory, and if he has to take that step aside money and make it happen, then so be it. But eventually, when he fights Brook, I think he's gonna beat Brook, and then nobody's gonna be able to avoid him anymore. Once he has that title, there's nobody who can really avoid him.
But
Derrick James made it clear that they're not taking no step aside money. They go on a purse bid in January. They just waiting.
He was clear about that, but Marcus, our previous caller, just said something that made 100% sense. He needs to fight like one of these old-time elite fighters, like Andre Berto.
No, he could have done that. Listen, Enrique, he could have done that before he had 2 eliminators. Now he did 2 eliminators. Man, if I'm Earl Spence, I wait right here in line. Kell Brook got to see me or give up the belt.
Okay. Well, you
listen, Kell Brook could be close to making a fight with Amir Khan all he want.
I think that the eliminator did nothing to his value, and if he would to fight Andre Berto, he would have more recognition.
No, it's not about value; it's about positioning.
Yeah, I think if he would have fought Berto, like Marcus said, he would have a much bigger crowd around him.
Right. Now, like Donald from Richmond said, these bigger names don't want to give him an opportunity because he don't got the names on his resume. So you think Berto was saying, yeah, I'll fight Earl Spence? Everybody calling Earl Spence their brother. That's my little man. That's my brother. That's my bro. That's my man. Because they don't want to get in the fucking ring with him. That's why. But that ain't my business.
Yo, Ness.
What up, Chris?
Are you going to be at the Badu Jack versus James DeGill fight?
Hell yeah. Yo, you guys think I went hard at 16, man. 2017 about to be crazy. I'm going super duper hard, Mega Man status.
I need a huge favor.
What you need? What you need?
One of my friends, and actually, I used to box a couple years ago. He's going to be fighting on the card. His name is Maxito Sainville. It's going to be, I think, his second 8-round fight that he's had. He's 4-0 with 2 knockouts. And he's fighting, I forgot the guy's name, but the guy's 7-0 with 2 knockouts. He's fighting on the card. After this fight, can you get an interview with him?
Of course. You got my number, right? Because you're going to have to text me. You know how you know how it is when I'm in the arena. I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off trying to interview everybody. So I never seen your friend. So you're going to have to text me day of, send me a picture and everything. I'll do I'll get the fight thing. What's it called? The bout sheet and try and look for him. But it sounds like he's gonna get there before the televised card.
Maybe at the weigh-in.
Yeah, maybe the weigh. I mean, I'm definitely Chris. You know I got you, man. You know I got you. Let me see. We got to get to more alumni. We got to get Chris that intro. Maybe when he becomes a patron, you can slide him that intro. Who we got up? We got my man,
Mr. Info Joe.
This portion of the show we call In the
Mr.
Know,
Info Joe.
presented by my brother.
No other than Info.
Yo.
Joe, what up?
B fam.
What's up?
What's up, Nestor, Enrique, the super producer, Steven.
What up, Info Joe?
To say, and shout out to Monsterpiece. Y'all doing a great, awesome job, man. Hey, Ness, great interview. You always ask the real hard questions that the rest of these suckers are scared to ask. And you do it in such a way that it is not insulting, you know? Great interview. So what we got? As far as Derrick James, I'm I'm glad to hear that he's not taking the step aside money, but I do understand that the Brook Khan is a real major fight, and I can see why they're both pushing for it, because I think it's like probably would be their both biggest fights. As far as Derrick James as well, I don't like how he changed Charlo's style. He made him into a brawler instead of a slick boxer, how Ronnie Shields had him, because he didn't look good in that Jackson fight. And I hope he Charlo reverts back to his boxing style that Ronnie Shields had him on, for this next fight that he's in. Also, shout out to Larry for the show. And I think you should put in Amin as a runner-up for Caller of the Year, and N.O. And maybe Fahim. Yeah.
Fahim don't even call in enough. Fahim call in like twice a year. He might be a chatter of the year or something.
Yeah. Word. Hey, is it true too about the Tony Harris Jared Hurd fight? I like that fight. Is that possible?
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true, man. I seen, that was like an image on Instagram going around. It's floating. That's an interesting fight. Let me tell you, if they're doing that, they're not joking around with these prospects, because, Harrison, he bounced back well after the Willie Nelson loss, I believe. And to be putting him in there with Hurd didn't really have the power to knock out that welterweight. Did he end up knocking him out or what? Probably did, but it wasn't the
they
best.
ended up stopping the fight.
Yeah, it wasn't the best, man. So Harrison got real deal power. It's just he's chinny, right? So we got to see what's happening. I like that fight if it happens. I like that a lot.
Yes, most definitely, man. And Christmas just passed, man. I'm gonna most definitely put in for that before January 8th for the next party in New York.
For sure. Definitely. Yeah, man. I know that the holidays are gonna.
Brother.
All right, Info Joe. I know the holidays are gonna kill everyone, and that's exactly why we're saying $50 deposit by January 8th, just so we have a certain buffer of amount of people that we know are interested, and then we can move on, because, we went all out for Vegas. We brought the heavyweight champ of the world. We brought a couple of other fighters. We had Peter Quillen in there, Caleb Plant. A lot of people came through, and, we just want to continue in that fashion. We want everyone to resort, and we want it to be the best that it can be. Now, this one is shaping up, let me tell you. If we get that RSVP list cracking and everything goes according to plan, and by the 8th we have at least our minimum 25, this could be a really good event. I mean, Erickson Lubin's coming. He's going to be on that card. Danny's on that card. I mean, Thurman. I mean, there's just so many people that we mingle well with that, we could probably turn this into a very good event for our listeners who have been nothing but the best to us. And that's why I'm wondering, why did the thumbs up don't match the amount of people listening? It's crazy. Just remember, I'm the same guy that's going to go see Daniel Jacobs here next week. Maybe next week I'll be in Daniel Jacobs' camp getting you that good old, camp footage. So it's like, give us some love. Make sure that you're showing the show, the proper love, right? Because we're out here working. We're working. Listen, this is not a joke. We used to do interviews every Thursday. Now we got the lovely Monster Piece. Check her out on Instagram, all right? She's going makeup crazy over there. So you can hook up with her and she'll make your girl look good too. But, she's been getting us all the proper interviews, I think master plan, then I send the shark. That's Monster Piece, because she's a shark, right? But in a lady's dress, right? Because she comes at him, boom, all softy, boom, gets him in here. So, what are we working on? I'm working on Peter Fury. Spoke to Peter Fury. He told me after January 12th, whatever. We on the waiting list, but we got Peter Fury. Hopefully that leads to Tyson, right? I'm also working on Dillian White from the UK for you guys. That's another UK banger that we're trying to do. Dillian White. Who else are we trying to get? Who should we get? We need this is why we need people to join our Patreon and be part of the mastermind, because I need suggestions. I don't even know, like, all because of the news about the Kell Brook Khan. I was like, well, let's not just talk about this rumor or breaking news. Let's have the trainer on, because we want to know what they're thinking about this. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how I want to do it all the time. We tried it with the episode a couple of days ago with Jared Miller. It didn't work out. He called me afterwards. I was kind of pissed off or whatever, but we can reschedule him. I mean, we should have rescheduled him, because now I see him. He's all over everywhere, talking to everybody. But we'll get him back. And just give us some suggestions in the comment box. Definitely what names you want. You see, we had Mars, we had Robert Garcia. Really, no name is difficult. They are more difficult as they get bigger. Obviously, Cotto's a diva. You know that. You know what I mean? Somebody's going to have to, I don't know, lay in bed with him. You didn't hear that. Let me see. Let me get to Josue from the Lower Oregon.
Hey, yo, what up, Ness? What up, Calderon? What up? Bob? What's his name? Enrique. I don't think Boxing MD's on. But hey, Ness, just real quick, man. I just want to, congratulate you for another successful year of the Boxing Voice, man. And, I wish you another successful year after this one, man, and more to come, man, because you deserve it, brother. You work hard for us, and that's pretty much all I wanted to say. And, congratulations, you, brother, and keep it up, brother.
All right, Josue, man. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, man, we're looking for an even stronger 2017. I'm telling you, we're going to work hard. Obviously, with the help of our Patreon family, we're going to continue to get everywhere. I mean, I'm talking to Deontay, trying to get in camp. You see, he already opened up camp. I was even going to do a show on that. That's another thing. Keep giving us feedback. I want you guys to let me know in the comment section, do you mind if we, you and I, you, the listeners and the callers and myself, go on more frequently without the other hosts, because they're so busy with life, right? But there's breaking news. Like the other day, it was like 5 a.m. I'm a night owl. I stay up all night. I'm a night owl. Fucking Deontay Wilder's in the gym at 5 a.m, Stephen, hitting the bag. Boom. He's like, yo. Yeah, I believe it too, because he's the heavyweight fucking champion of the world. That's why I believe it, Bomb Squad! Never sleeps. So, I want Al Heyman too, Cut West. Let me tell you, I had 3 conversations with Al. The rest of these guys can't even say that because they lames. But, yeah, I spoke 3 times to him like that, side by side, face to face, and then, another like in walking and shit. But no matter what, I even tried to little, to go the poor route, like, oh man, it'll mean so much to me, Al. It'll do wonders for, the growth. None of that.
You hit him with that?
Oh, hell yeah, I hit him with the, for real, that shit would have probably been like a 1,000,000 hit interview if I would have done the Al Heyman ghost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got
nobody has that.
I recorded him like secretly, and that shit still gets hits every day and shit. Because he's like Bigfoot. Who's seen Al Heyman? You know what I'm saying? Only me and a couple others out there.
Hey, wasn't a casual with you one time, and didn't he call him Uncle Al in person?
Yeah. That was at the Barclays. He's been coming out more, especially the Barclays, because he's got like a secret fucking lab in that bitch. Where were we? We were talking about
we just got
about doing more shows, more spontaneous shows. So Deontay was in the gym. It's like 5 a.m, and it's like, yo, damn, do I report that? Do I let these guys know heavyweight champ is in the gym? Or let's say Canelo, was in the gym. I don't know. I'm on the line, says Monster. The Monster. Where's she at? Find her, Steven. Help me out. Steven, you can unmute yourself, right? That's what being on the boards is all about.
Oh, yeah, I got her. Here she is. Monster.
All about
Monster.
I'm a motherfucking monster.
She was just waiting.
Hi, everybody. Happy holidays. What's going on?
What's up, Monster? Happy holidays.
What's up? You got some Mama Juana over there?
No, but we do have a lot of coquito for some reason. Some Brugal and some shit.
Where you guys going to watch the ball drop at?
I don't think you don't know anything about that, man.
Who don't know about coquito? I got a bottle of coquito in the fridge right now, and a couple of days ago I was doing a show with a coquito glass on me. But where you watching the ball drop? You guys doing something at home, or you headed out?
No. I never go out on New Year's Eve. That's like the worst thing that you can do.
Too dangerous.
Everything is like double price. It's dangerous. It's ridiculous. You get a whole bunch of liquor, and you put the music nice and loud, and you party with your family or friends or whatever, and you do it in one location. That's how you do it. You don't go crazy.
Agreed. So what you
that's
think
what
about that?
tourists say. Like that's like if you're.
Sorry. Go ahead. You're just like Andre Rozier.
No,
you got
what
those
you say?
pauses. You got those pauses.
No, because I thought you were gonna say something, so I just was like, oh, wait.
Yeah, but I didn't mean to cut over you. So go ahead. It's all good.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm looking forward to 2017, guys. I don't know. I just really want to see this Garcia versus Thurman fight. Definitely want to see the Triple G versus Jacob. And I think, I really am not interested in seeing Khan versus Brook. I think that fight kind of already got like sour because it took so long to get made. And right now I think Brook versus Spence would be a much better fight, in my opinion. So I'm hoping that will happen in 2017. And but yeah, Algieri. I don't know about Algieri and Berto. I've never really been a big fan of Algieri, and the people in the chat knows exactly how I feel about him. I really don't think he's a fighter. He really is a waste of time. I don't mean to sound so mean about the guy because I'm sure he's really great and he works really hard. But there's just no fight in the guy, and I just feel like it's I don't know. He's just not.
Monster, no fight in the guy. He got up from like 2 early knockdowns to Ruslan Provodnikov to go on and keep fighting and win a title.
Yeah, but who hasn't beaten Provodnikov at this point? That was that question. At this point, who hasn't beaten the poor guy? You know what I mean? But anyways, I think that's my time. That's all I really wanted to say. I'm looking forward to 2017, and I want to wish you guys a happy new year. I want to wish all our listeners a happy new year as well. I look forward to everyone in 2017, and continue to share the show, continue to support, and hit those thumbs up. We're going to bring you great interviews in 2017. We're really working hard on those. And I am so happy to be part of this team. It has been the highlight of my year to kind of do this with you guys and be able to meet so many wonderful people. So thank you, everybody that's been listening and who's been riding with me as well, and with everybody here at the Boxing Voice. We love you very much. Thank you.
That's right, man. And it's not over. We still got to do like we did Fighter of the Year with Larry. So now we got to give the people like Fight of the Year show and like Prospect of the Year
comeback Fighter of the Year or comeback Fight of the Year.
I like the way that Larry did it, and we kind of just focused on Fighter, and the dynamic was better. People were more clearer with their thoughts, opposed of going through all the awards on one
mashing
show.
them up. Yeah,
it wouldn't work well. Let's see what we got out here. We got to Josue. We got to go to Brooklyn. Garcia Thurman landing over there. That's the word on the curb. Talk to me, Too Tough.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? What's going on, Boxing Voice? Listen, happy holidays and all that. Yo, that's a good one. I'm kind of Berto Algieri is a good fight. However, it's kind of strange that Algieri is Berto's opponent, because I thought Berto was like highly ranked by the WBC, and if Khan didn't want the Garcia fight, Berto was next in line or something like that. So I don't understand why he would take a step back. And
yeah, but Berto isn't. Hey, Steven, check where Berto's ranked in the WBC, because there was once upon a time that he was like the mandatory. Then he didn't want to take that Philadelphia fight with Danny. All of a sudden, Khan is back mandatory, and then WBC mandates Bradley Earl Spence for #1 slot. So I don't know what's going on with the WBC rankings.
Yeah, now if I don't know how this would play out, but if Spence was cool with it. Like, he get what, 300,000 for his fights now, or something, 350. Like, if they gonna give him that to not fight what he gets to fight, I would take a step aside money, go fight. I mean, I think he could beat Bradley. I don't know if Bradley would fight him, because that'll be the same problem that he would have with Berto not fighting somebody else.
I hate to
Maybe
keep interrupting, but I did read something that Carl Moretti said that they're going to respond to the WBC within a week or so. So we should hear something by the new year as far as what did Bradley decide to do with that new mandate from WBC.
Okay, because if he takes that, Spence could take the step aside money, still keep his ranking at the IBF. If he beats Bradley, then he can have the ranking at the IBF or the WBC. And then, he's a win-win situation. And if he beats Bradley, that's a big name. Like, nobody could talk about who he got on his resume anymore. You know what I mean?
Yo, just real quick. Right now, Andre Berto is ranked number 8 by the WBC. I don't know why he dropped so far, because, like Ness said, he wasn't mandatory not too long ago. But now it's Amir Khan Amir Khan's number 1 and Timothy Bradley is number 2. I really hope that Bradley doesn't take a Spence fight. Personally, I'm a big fan of Bradley, and I don't think a Spence fight is good for his health.
Now listen. Bradley a little tough guy. He got a little physique on him. Looked like he could withstand a little bit of Spencer's body blows, But I'm gonna tell you this. Just give me till Tuesday. Ness, I'm an RSVP on the thing. Just gotta wait till Tuesday. All right.
Too tough. Man, you might end up getting that rookie caller of the year too, because he just started calling heavy this year.
Dude, in the last like 3 weeks.
Last couple months. Maybe I don't know, because I lose track of time with all the shows that we do, but I do recall, like, I'm just I'm just getting used to him being a regular caller. So
I'm telling you, Too Tough is like maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks in.
Man, we need slots. Hopefully, we get the same sponsor that sponsored last trophies. This way we could give out even more to all our deserving callers, because without the callers there is no show for sure. Now it's
always fun too, getting them involved into the appreciation. It's right. Fan appreciation night. It's for the fans.
Remember, when you RSVP, if you communicate with us on any form of social media, whether that be YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever username we know you by, whatever show name you use, like Too Tough, make sure you put Too Tough so we know who you are, right? Because we need to know who's coming so we know who deserves what, because just because you're coming don't mean you're getting something. But out of who's coming, we have to see who deserves something. Like, for instance, if my man right here were to show up, I don't know, we would have to get him something. It's been years he's been riding with us, and I want to go ahead and take credit for stealing him from another radio show. I used to hear him on another radio show all the time. Yeah, because that's what I do. I listen to the competition.
I told y'all a long time ago. Kirkland go down in 3 rounds.
Stop me up! Next, I got milk.
Yo.
Milkman, what's up, brother?
Hey, man, what's poppin', man? Hey, I just jumped in late. What's going on? Are they trying to fuck Errol Spence out of the fight? What's happening?
Well, we had his trainer on, and his trainer says they don't care what's being negotiated. He knows that Al isn't going to backdoor Earl, and they're getting their fight. They're going to purse bid in January. They're not taking no step-aside money. They want their fight. So, yeah, man, they're either going to end up in court or fight outside the ring for sure. No, in the ring or fight outside the ring in court. But Errol Spence is not stepping aside.
Yeah, fuck that. I wouldn't step aside either, because when was the last time he fought?
Spence fought in August versus what's this kid's name? The one that Thurman beat. Bundu.
August. So man, that's fucked up, man. Because
the guy is the fucking mandatory, man. They need to go ahead and honor that shit. Or just fucking give up the belt. Do the fucking right thing. And I wouldn't take no fucking step aside money. It's time for Earl to grab a fucking championship, man, because that's usually the first thing to really take somebody into that next level. Look at all the champions that did it before. They always snag a belt and then use that as a fucking launching pad for the rest of their career, man. So that's very important. That's why I was saying that Earl really needed to snag this belt instead of just fighting a big name like Tim Bradley. Because right now, I think in the long run, the belt will help his career right now. So yeah, fuck that. I wouldn't take no step aside money either, man. So worst case scenario, if the shit goes to court, what could be the outcome?
Well, the outcome for Thurman, for Brook, Earl Spence.
Yeah.
Purse bid in January. And he's willing to go to the UK. Him and his trainer already confirmed.
Ooh, that's it, man. Cool, man. Well, shit. If I don't talk to y'all again before the new year, happy new year. And y'all have a good one, man. And I'll see y'all on the other side.
All right, Milkman. Make sure you subscribe both to the YouTube channel and to iTunes because we working around here. We're going to be putting out some more content. So you guys got to stay updated. Hosts, we got Josh from New Orleans. Talk to me, Josh.
Yeah, let me follow real quick. Yeah, hey, hi, ThaBoxingvoice. That was a real good interview with Derrick James today. I stay in Dallas. I run into Derrick James a lot. Hello?
Yes, sir. You said you stay in Dallas and you run into James a lot?
Yeah, I run into James a lot. I used to be in the gym a lot when I was boxing, but I've been hitting the road a lot. I drive trucks. I ran into a Hadley trainer the other day in a shoe store, and they real confident going into that Jamel Charlo fight. He said he would stop him in 5 rounds. I mean, I just would like to see that. I don't really know what Hadley bring to the table besides what I saw, but it's going to be a real good fight. But they're real confident coming in that fight.
I bet they are after watching Jamel perform the way that he did in that John Jackson fight. I'm sure they're confident.
Right. Derrick James said stopping Brook. I think Errol will beat Brook up. Dominating him, but I don't know about not being able to box again. Because, I like dude, but I ain't never seen him really stop nobody like that to where he ended their careers. He's a technician. He's solid. I done been in the gym with the dude, and I watched the dude. The dude is just talented. But he will beat Brook when they fight. I don't want him to take no step aside money because the dude need recognition. All that, he not fighting nobody. He need to fight this person, all that. Nah, he need to stand his ground, get that belt however he could get it, so he could go ahead and move on with his career. No step aside money. And Brook needs to fight that man. What else y'all talking about? Y'all was talking about, I'm looking forward to 2017 because I really think Keith Thurman is going to take Danny Garcia head off. And I can't wait till the fight happens to see the outcome of that. It's time for Danny Garcia in this. It's like in 2017, like last year, a lot of fighters, even Canelo Alvarez, they always talk about big money fights. Canelo got a bunch of people he could be fighting at 154 right now, but he fights none of them guys. He's jumping to a Chavez, a guy who's been out of the ring, hasn't been looking good, but he's talking about big money, but not fighting nobody. But he still get recognition. Danny Garcia was doing the exact same thing. That's why both of them dudes get on that list and they get called cherry pickers. And Canelo don't get called enough, but he should be called a cherry picker because he's doing the exact same thing. It's time for them to start fighting competitive fights and stop running around talking about they want to fight this guy. This fight don't make sense. That Kell Brook and Amir Khan fight, that don't make no sense whatsoever. Amir Khan been getting knocked out. And Kell Brook got in his last fight. Why should we be talking about these dudes fighting right now?
Yo, I gotta say, man, I kind of disagree. I think Kell Brook and Amir Khan is a huge money fight, and I think especially now because they're coming off losses, it's like I think it was probably Blackface who said it earlier. Coming off of losses, now it's like it's do or die. I think there's more pressure for them to both win. So I think that's a big money fight. And to be honest, Canelo, in terms of any other competition, it's like a big money fight at 154. I think Charlo's are a big money fight in Texas because they're from Texas. But you try to sell that fight anywhere else, I'm not sure how big money one of those fights really is, even though it's unification. Now, if you fought them both on the same night, we might be talking about something special.
You have a point. And, you know, a scenario that not even Derek James thought of is Kell Brook just vacating. If maybe Al Heyman is dealing with Khan and Brook, and it would just be for a non-title fight. Kell Brook vacates and
you know what's interesting?
Spence versus some guy named like Jeff Horn or something.
Okay, what about Andre Berto, who's ranked number 3 by the IBF?
Well, let's see. I mean, Berto keeps putting out interviews talking about Al told him he's going to be tough. He's going to be tough. Maybe they got him mentally prepared to step in if Brook vacates. Who knows? Time to get back out to these phone lines. Let's head on over to Australia. What's going on, Alex?
Hey, boys. What's going on? Yeah, I was just about to say that I agree with Stephen there a little bit. I disagree with the last caller. I mean, if you're getting the same money, you're getting offered big money to fight people like Liam Smith, Canelo's just doing what any normal human would do and just take full advantage of that. And, I mean, as fans, obviously, we get frustrated because we want to see him in there with the Charlos, we want to see him in there with Golovkin, but if you're getting offered $3 million to fight an absolute monster or $2.5 million to fight some bum, you're going to take the bum because it's easy. You know, you're not going to get hurt. It's just another win, and you're getting almost the same amount of money. Anyway, to do with this Khan Brook fight, I love it because I used to be a big Khan fan, and now I'm just waiting for the day someone shuts him up. And I thought Canelo would do it, but it just kind of made it worse through his whole social media. It's like, oh, I was winning every round and blah, blah, blah. And one shot can change a fight. Just shut up. You've got a glass jaw. You're irrelevant now. You've been knocked out at the top. Stay down. And I think after what Brook did to Golovkin, you've got Golovkin who's had 350 amateur fights and 5 losses. So he's clearly a very skilled technician, a skilled boxer. And then you got Brook coming in there, just footwork, blistering speed, crazy combinations. Since that fight, I've watched that fight God knows how many times now. I'm a big Brook fan, and I just hope he's the man to shut Khan up for good, hopefully. And that's my call.
All right, Alex, thanks for calling in, my friend. Hopefully one day we meet Alex coming all the way from Australia. We got 714. 714, you're up.
I'm just listening, boss.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for calling in. Thank you for listening, man. We still appreciate, listeners. Whenever you're ready, do not hesitate. So I guess recapping here, first things first, hit that thumbs up button. Let's get these shows every episode to 1,000 likes. That is the goal. That is the goal. We need to get that visibility. We need to grow. We need to grow, people. Hit them thumbs up. Steven, final thoughts, Steven. It's that time. We're wrapping it up. We gotta go. We got an early day today. Thank the lucky stars.
Ooh, what did we learn today? I think that the most exciting news for me, I say the Khan Brook thing. I like that this fight's finally happening because I like that finally fights that we've wanted for a long time are starting to materialize. Yes, they might be a little bit past their sell date, but I'm happy that we're at least gonna get them. Like for some people, Brandon Rios, Victor Ortiz, wow, they're glad that rivalry fight's finally happening. This Kell Brook Khan thing, finally it's gonna happen. Chavez, Canelo, finally it's gonna happen.
You really know how to shoot yourself in the foot. You're gonna put that Rios Ortiz. Now that is definitely sell past date.
Yeah, but I'm still really interested to see what's gonna happen. I'm
gonna watch.
I love a rivalry. Like that's like a legitimate rivalry, and it's not like I wish I could go to it live. It's one of those fights I would go to live, and in a small arena, small venue would be it'd be a real fun club fight.
Yo, let me Nicholas Axmans Walters ask you a question. Would you be disappointed in Kell Brook if he doesn't stop Khan?
Yeah, I would.
We just got someone squeezed in. We're not turning no music off for you either. 310, who's this?
Oh, it's Chris from Inglewood.
Chris, what's up, brother? You got a couple seconds here while we closing out the doors.
Chris, you kept calling in and dropping off,
Topics. I'm gonna turn the music off. I'm gonna do you a solid because I like ya. I like California because you got the good old bud. All right, so the topic is Khan and Brook. Very close. Khan looking to take a tune-up first, though, in April. Gennady Golovkin, Daniel Jacobs tickets are selling like hotcakes. They're doing better than 2015 for the Lemieux pay-per-view in October, or the last time he fought in Madison Square. Obviously, we got Canelo and Chavez. Chavez put out a post on his social media, fight poster with all the sponsors, HBO pay-per-view. He and Canelo facing off, looking official, hinting that this may be done. Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman have their venue. It's looking like it's going to be the Barclays Center, and the official announcement should be this week. And then we have the rumor of Andre Berto and Chris Algieri possibly landing on the undercard.
All right, well, Khan and Brook, that's a good fight, especially there in the UK. But I do feel like Errol Spence deserves his title shot. What's it called? If they go for the purse bid, I think Brook is gonna he's not gonna drop his belt. I do see Errol Spence winning that fight, but I'm not counting Brook out. And Triple G and Danny Jacobs, it's gonna be a great fight. I remember you guys wanted a specific referee for that fight. Who was that referee that you guys said you guys wanted?
Steve Smoger.
Yeah, no, you know who I really want for referee for that fight? I want Steve Willis.
Oh, the guy with the eyes? The guy with the eyes?
Guy with the eyes. He's a Brooklyn fighter, Brooklyn referee.
Especially during the highlights, you can just see his face. That's the referee.
That ain't funny though. That's disrespectful. That's like his regular face you guys are talking about.
Yo, that's funny too.
He's not doing it on purpose.
Some funny videos, some funny memes. That guy is famous in the boxing world, especially on IG.
Because of his expression.
He made Roy Jones laugh during the highlights.
You know, his first big fight was Garcia Salka.
That's crazy. Dead serious. You're right. No, you're right. You're right.
First big fight for Enrique Church, probably.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I don't remember Steve Willis before that. I do not.
Yeah, I never saw him
before the memes. That's all. But
no, I saw him. I was like, damn, you saw the referees fight the eyes when he stopped the fight.
Chris, you got to learn how to bob and weave, man. You letting these guys hijack your call. Listen, we're gonna wrap it up though, Chris. Make sure you try to call in sooner next time.
Happy New Year.
I'm your host, Nes GTO. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at Nes GTO. Remember, if you're loving the content around here, we get more exclusive content on Patreon. You can go to Patreon. Speaking of Patreon, I should be doing a video this weekend showing you all the rewards. We're going to be putting that out and mailing that out as well. Finally got everything. Got my little envelopes. Got my labeler. So we're going to get to work for all you Patreon guys. If you want, I'm going to just go ahead and do this soundbite. That's a gunshot for Enrique, who still hasn't gotten the shirts down packed for you guys. But don't worry, he's working. You said give him another soundbite? No problem.
Yeah, because I need a hat.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Enrique souped us up talking about we was going to be like DSG with the fashion line and shit. I don't see nothing. RSVPs.
DSG goes to the other businesses to get it done. You know, I'm trying to do the shit out my attic.
Yo, RSVPs, do not forget, January 8th is the deadline. We need 25 RSVPs.
Yes, and if you're having trouble finding the link for the RSVPs, I did tweet it out on my Twitter, on at Calderon92 on Twitter, and I just posted it up on my Instagram as well.
Do us
At
a favor,
sugar
tweet
underscore
out
Steve
on
Dutson.
the TBV Twitter, fam and lamb.
Okay, we'll do.
So yeah, he's gonna tweet the link. Find us on social media. You could get straight there, but you could go to the page. You'll see it. It's on the top right-hand corner. TBV Appreciation Night. All the information that you're gonna need is there. RSVP. We need 25. We're obviously gonna have the doors open and more. We got a little sexy live going on, or maybe a rooftop. We don't know, man. We don't know how March is gonna be. We got to check the weather. But we're gonna do something official, and it's gonna go down. I'm telling you. Enrique, let everybody know where they can find you at.
Yes, you can find me on Twitter, TBV_casual_fan, and on my Instagram, that is at Fight Talk. Real simple.
And the producer.
As I said, you can find me on Twitter at Calderon92, and you can find me on Instagram at sugar_Steve.c. I messaged out those RSVP links, and I'll do it again for the Boxing Voice Twitter right now.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, do not forget, everybody doesn't need to financially support the show. You can show your support by dropping us a 5-star review. That would be your first pace in pledging TBV Army for life. Drop that 5-star review on iTunes, and then you'll move on to the next step, you know? Don't worry about it. We'll be back. Maybe mañana, never know. So you got to subscribe right here.
Happy New Year.
Right here. If you want a show before Sunday, you better subscribe here, because that's the only way you're going to know if we went live. You know, I might come on tomorrow morning. You never know. And this is what I'm doing from now on, too. I'm not just having regular shows, only in case the guests are not available, but I'm going to be doing spontaneous interviews. Like tomorrow morning, if I feel like doing a show, let's say some news. I don't know. Let's just say they say Jeff Horn is fighting Manny Pacquiao. Well, I'm calling Bob Arum. We're talking about it right there live on the show. Stick around. That's what I'm doing from now. We're going to
big time. You should have been doing that.
We're going to add value the same way that today we talking about this Kell Brook shit. All right, well, fuck that. We calling Derek James, because that's what we could do over here. You know what I'm saying? If I got to start taking out the Rolodex, show dudes they ain't on the level, that's what we're going to have to do. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have to be the Earl Spence of the podcast game. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to fight us. They don't want to fight us. They don't want to give us an opportunity. So we're going to have to take it. You know how we doing. We out.